Rais wa Kenya anajulikani hajulikani? Rais wa Kenya ni William Ruto. Huyu ndakwa chama ya UDA iko kwa serikali ama iko kwa serikali? Chama ya ndakwa mkubwa yake ni William Ruto, si William Ruto? Si yeye ndiye mwenye serikali? Huyu ndakwa akifika bunge la kitaifa atatafuta mahali serikali iko ama tayari ako ndani ya serikali? Sasa nyinyi si mnapiga kura sababu ya kutafuta maendeleo? Maendeleo iko kwa serikali ama upinzani? Nyinyi mko na bahati sana. Mko na bahati kwa sababu mnaenda kwa uchaguzi kuchagua mjumbe mkijua serikali ni gani, rais wa nchi ya Kenya ni gani. Kwa hivyo huyu akifika hahitaji kufanyiwa orientation. Tayari orientation amefanywa, akiingia ni kupewa kisu yake, kuanza kukata keki na kuleta hapa Malaba. Mungu awabariki sana.
Huyo DIDMUS Barasa anatosha matoshi. Maduwe Malaba huyu ni sawa si sawa?
Okay. You're good to go. Karibuni tena kwa Ikue updates. Na leo tumekuletea kwa show yetu Mheshimiwa DIDMUS Barasa, mjumbe wa Kimilili, and we are going to talk about anything and everything Kimilili primarily. Alafu kidogo tutasonga tuongee mambo ya county kiasi, and then of course we'll talk about mambo ya nchi nzima, akiwa kiongozi ambaye anatembea sana. Umeona tukianza alikuwa anasikiza clip yake, nafikiri hiyo amesemea huko Malava. So mheshimiwa, kwa wale ambao wanaona Ikue na ndo mara ya kwanza umeonekana kwa live yetu, discussion interview rather, unaweza sema majina yako kamili? Kutaka hata unaweza tuongeze hata nicknames mheshimiwa.
Mimi naitwa DIDMUS Barasa Mutua, nikiwa mbunge na wakilisha watu wa Kimilili, na hii ni awamu yangu ya pili. This is my second term as a member of parliament.
Yes. So mheshimiwa, karibu sana, and asante kwa kukubali kuja kwa issue yetu. Najua sisi ni vigogo kwa hii maneno, lakini tulikawia kidogo kwa sababu ya vitu mbili tatu. So ningependa kuuliza mheshimiwa, tukianza ningependa tuanzie mbali. Your birth, vile umegrow primary school, kuja masomo yako, unaweza tupigia tu story so that watu waweze kuelewa huyu DIDMUS alitokea wapi? Unatobea wewe ni orphan, kuliendaje? How did you lose your parents? Hivyo namna hiyo.
Mimi nilizaliwa hapa katika kijiji cha Nasianda. Katika wakati huo location yetu ilikuwa inaitwa Kibingei, lakini sasa hivi wameweza kukatakata, tuko Chepkwambi sub location, Kibingei location. Na nikaenda shule ya msingi Nasianda Primary School, nikatoka Nasianda nikaenda Kimilili Boys Secondary School, nikamalizia pale, nikajiunga na chuo cha taasisi ya mafunzo cha Kenya Power kule Ruaraka. Nikamaliza masomo yangu ya pale nikiwa nafanya kazi katika shirika la umeme wa Kenya, Kenya Power Lighting Company. Nikatoka Kenya Power Lighting Company mwaka wa 2007 thereabout, nikajiunga na jeshi la wanahewa wa Kenya, Kenya Air Force. Nikakuwa pale na nikaondoka katika hilo jeshi la wanahewa wa Kenya mwaka wa 2009. Nikaenda kufanya kazi na Teacher Service Commission. Nilikuwa Assistant Deputy Secretary in charge of facilities. Mimi ndo mwenye nilisimamia ujenzi ya Teacher Service Commission House ile Upper Hill, na nikahamisha Commission Secretariat from Bazaar Plaza pale town ikakuja pale Upper Hill. Nikatoka pale nikafanya na mashirika kadha wa kadha ya kibinafsi kwa muda mfupi, lakini ile ambayo nilifanya muda mrefu ni shirika la Bolore Africa Logistics ambalo nilifanya nalo kuanzia mwaka wa 2013 hadi 2016. Na pale nikifanya kazi pale nilifanya na mashirika mengi kama implant. Maana ya implant ni kwamba unakuwa mfanyikazi wa shirika fulani lakini ofisi yako iko katika shirika lingine, wala ambao wanapokea huduma kutoka kwenu. Kwa hivyo nimekuwa implant katika mashirika kama ile ya BAT, kuwa implant katika shirika la kutafuta mafuta na kusafirisha mafuta la Shell mpaka kule Australia, na nikaweza kujiuzuru katika shirika hilo mwaka wa 2016 kumradhi. Nikaanza kufanya siasa ili nichaguliwe mbunge wa eneo bunge la Kimilili. Na vile pia nilikuwa nikishughulisha na shirika moja ili la SportPesa. Kuna rafiki yangu alikuwa anaitwa Dikotika na mwingine kutoka Bulgaria anaitwa Gero. So pale ndio tulifanya mpango tukaanzisha zile shirika la SportPesa, Pivans East Africa. Na vile nilipochaguliwa mbunge wa Kimilili mara ya kwanza mwaka 2017 katika tiketi ya chama cha Jubilee wakati huo, na I defended my seat again in 2017 on a UDA party, and up to that time to date I have declared that I want to run for governor of Ngoma. Just to take you back a bit again on my education journey, baada ya kutoka katika shirika la Kenya Power Lighting Company na kuingia katika siasa, kuna training nyingi ambazo nilifanya ili ambazo zinaweza nisaidia katika uendeshaji wa shughuli zangu. Moja wapo ya training ambayo nimefanya ni niko na graduate diploma in project management. Niko na Bachelor of Arts degree in public administration, na vile pia niko na master's degree in public administration. Na ninavyozungumza hivi niko namalizia shahada yangu ya PhD in public administration from Murang'a University of Technology. Vile pia nimefanya Master of Science, a Master of Occupational Health and Safety Science, masters ambayo inadili na masuala ya afya kazini, maneno ya occupational health and safety. And my expertise actually is that I transitioned from practicing electrical engineering to being a safety engineer all my life. Nikiwa pale Bolore Africa Logistics, I was in charge of quality, health, safety, environment and facilities. I was director for East Africa. East Africa is not the geographical East Africa of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and some countries. But my jurisdiction I was in charge of about 10 African countries, beginning from Djibouti, to Great Lakes, and the current East Africa. So I was traversing this region on matters health, safety, and environment for Borore Africa Logistics. I had an office in Tinda Road in Uganda, in Kampala. I had an office at Old Airport Road in Nairobi. I had an office in Mombasa. I had an office in Addis Ababa, and another office in Tongping in South Sudan. So that is what I was doing before I became the member of parliament. So I can aptly say that I am one of the most educated member of parliament, because you speak today. I am putting together my documentation for my thesis to submit it for marking, and that is usually the last stage for PhD learning. So by December,
Yes.
I will have actually I will be allowed to use the title doctor, but most importantly, it's not about the title itself, or rather the PhD itself. What I am proud of is that when I was doing my graduate diploma in project management, the topic, my research topic, of course, one of the requirements for you to graduate with a graduate diploma that you must do a research and submit a project. So my research dissertation at graduate diploma level was inclusion of strategic management in the effective implementation of constituency development fund project, a case of Kandui constituency. And my dissertation at master's level in public administration was determinants of effective implementation of devolution support program, a case of Bungoma County. My PhD dissertation, which I am putting together to submit for marking, the title of it is Effects of County Government Branding on Service Delivery Satisfaction among Small and Medium Enterprises in Bungoma, Kenya. So I've actually done research in my own county, and that is what drives me to run for governor of Bungoma, because I understand the county government branding strategies and what the SME are saying. I was simply trying to find out why is it that the people of Bungoma are complaining about our own government that we elected. So that's when I went to do a research. So I have a clear understanding about the feeling of the people of Bungoma. I chose on SME because these are the recipient of the services. You know, an individual who is not an SME can say this government is not good simply because no one has given him or her a handout. But when you zero down to the recipients of the services, then they will give you a clear picture as to why. When they say that we are not satisfied. So I understand why the people of Bungoma are dissatisfied with the government or are satisfied with the government.
Okay.
So that is what interests me, Edu.
Mheshimiwa, I've been around you for some time, but I've never known this much. It's actually exciting to know that you have done all that. But let us go back a bit. You have always insinuated that your upbringing has been quite difficult.
Yes, in 1991, we lost our father. In 1991, I was very young. My mother followed in 1998. And you know, the tradition of the Bukusus or the Bukusu culture has always been that when you lose all your parents, the relatives would share. You know, the aunties can pick this child So they will pick everybody. So that is how we grew up. We grew up from, in 1998, we were all separated. We were 7 children. We were all separated and went different ways. I think we became a family again after when my brother Denson got a TSC job, and myself, I think when I was employed by Kenya Power Lighting Company, that is when we now brought our family back. We were separated by fate because in 1998, my brother was at the University of Nairobi, while myself, I was in Form 3 at KIMILILI Boys High School, and therefore it was eminent that relatives will pick each one of us. Of course, apart from myself, no one ever came to pick me, largely because I came with a burden of school fees, and maybe relatives were also not well financially. So I stayed here alone. Of course, I could go to my uncle's, who's just my neighbor here. I stay with his children. At times I could go to my other neighbor here called Joseph Wasike, stay there with his children, and juggle between doing a few things here and walking from here to KIMILILI Boys because I was a day scholar. And I think that is how it is. And I also forgot something. Musalia Mudavadi had set a record in Western Kenya for having been elected at the age of 29, when his father died. So he was in the history of our region. He was the first youngest person to be elected in parliament. But I set a new record. I was elected at the age of 28, a year younger than when Musalia was elected. So that is why the young people of our region should be proud of myself that I led the way for them. From there, I think Salasia has followed, and I am also confident that many other young people will follow.
So Salasia is younger than you?
Salasia was elected younger than myself.
Younger, okay.
I think younger than myself. But I'm the one who broke the record that Musalia had set for having been the youngest elected member of parliament from Western region at the age of 29. Me, I went there at the age of 28 on a party that was not popular.
So Mheshimiwa, for the record, this is your ancestral land?
Yes. This is our ancestral land.
Yes.
This is where my father was born, and this is where all of us were born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Including Chief Officer Denson.
Yeah, we are actually we are 8 of us. We have our eldest sister. She's married to one of the brothers of Wanyama Musiambo. Of course, that is our father's firstborn daughter. We don't know. Of course, my father fathered her out of before he got married to our mother. And then from our mother, Denson is our firstborn. We have other 5 girls. One is in Finland. The others are here in Kenya, working here and there. And that is a complete of our family.
Oh, so you guys are doing much better now?
Yes, we are well. We are well, we are okay. I had a huge responsibility. I began parenting at the age of 19, taking care of the children that our father left behind for us. Yeah, and we are glad that we took care of them. All of them were able to complete Form 4, and all of them have gone through post-secondary training.
Okay.
The girl who follows me works with the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. The one that follows her works with the ADC. She's an accountant in Molo. The one that follows there is a hotelier in Nairobi. The one that follows the hotelier in Nairobi she's in Finland. And then our last born girl works with Kenya Power Lighting in Kisumu.
That is good. So, Mheshimiwa, you have mentioned quite a number of things, but we are yet now to go into Kimilili as a constituency during your time, and maybe just what you found as opposed to what you have achieved now. But before we go to that, I would like you just to tell us how you managed to do the campaigns with all the challenges that you faced before you beat, was it Murunga?
Yes.
Murunga is the former owner of Simas.
Yeah.
That was a very old person.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell your...
I think I can say all of us, we were disadvantaged as a family, losing both our parents when we were very young. But later on, myself, after the struggles of going through the primary and secondary education, when I went to college, I think we sold this land.
I'm being told that you're a bit low. Let me just add. How is it?
It's okay now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I will repeat. As a family, we were disadvantaged when we lost both our parents. But for me, after struggling to go through the secondary education, we sold this land to pay school fees for myself. So we only remained with about an acre where our parents were resting from. But the rest of the land we sold it to raise fees for myself. And of course, when I finished, I was employed by Kenya Power Lighting Company immediately. And from there, I think I became a bit lucky. I have never looked for a job, but employers looked for me. Yeah, I've always been headhunted. Even when I joined Polore, I was headhunted from a Teacher Service Commission, and that I have always been lucky. So when I was working with the Polore Africa Logistics, my salary was about close to $500,000. That is how I managed to sustain my campaigns against Murunga from 2013 to 2017, because I had some float to move around, to traverse this constituency, offering an alternative leadership. And I remember that time I built quite a number of schools using the small resources that I had. I didn't build modern classrooms. I was just building mud wall classrooms. Some of the schools that I built before I became Member of Parliament, Msihumeini SDA, a school like we have this secondary school called Chelekai Bahai. We have Ngoli Primary School. We have Hamlati DB. These are schools which I built. I donated iron sheets and round poles, and got the community to just put some mud for the children to learn from these schools. And then now, of course, after I had resigned in 2016, the resources that I had were kind of getting depleted because I had not done investments that would bring me an income to sustain my campaigns. So at that time I was a bit lucky again because when I had gone to, of course, I had been thrown out from Ford Kenya Party. You know, I was for very many years I was in Ford Kenya Party, but because the director of elections of Ford Kenya was Lemani Murunga, the fella that I was positioning to send home. So he began to engineer some people within the party to fight me. When we go for meetings, the guy will literally hire goons to attack me, you know, to puncture the vehicle that I was using. So actually, there are some forces in the party that pushed me out. So I went to ODM.
Moshi, there's something I just wanted to say. Sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
There's a Ford Kenya member who said that there was a time you were almost vying on Ford Kenya, but you didn't. So could that be the reason why you didn't consider?
Yes. You know, let me tell you, the person actually we had a plan. We had a plan, myself, Jack Wamboka, Chris Wamalwa, and Wycliffe Wangamati. We had a plan. Our plan was that to make the party more attractive and lay a level playing field for each and every aspirant. By then, Omnyinyi was chairman of Bungoma County of Ford Kenya. Eseli was Secretary General. Then Murunga was Director of Elections. So actually, we planned a coup in the party, actually to install Wycliffe Wangamati as chair of Ford Kenya in Bungoma, and also overthrow Suleiman Murunga as Director of Elections, and of course overthrow Eseli as SG for Chris Wamalwa. And then I think Chris Wamalwa kind of had a same discussion with the party leader Moses Wetangula. That is how our plans vanished. So when I realized that now it would be difficult for me to actually get the party ticket because Murunga was Director of Elections, and they had somehow managed to get some party honchos on his side who were actually frustrating me. When we go for party meetings, I could see that I am an unwanted character in this particular meeting because people come to attack me in the same manner that Catherine does to Nancy Kibaba in certain situations. So I left and I looked for Majimbo, the MCA for Halaba. By then he was, I think, the leader of minority in the assembly, and Sophie Marumbu. So I told them I want to join ODM. So actually Majimbo went and picked the certificate on my behalf. But then while I was on the way coming from Nairobi, I received a call from the Deputy President by then, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, and he asked that I should go and see him. So when I went to meet with him, I was taken to him by Dan Wanyama, who was always on my neck. You know, Dan was always pushing me to run on Jubilee Party, and he was confident that I would win if the government by that time, led by Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, would support me. So that decision to join Jubilee lessened some financial burden on me because many times I could speak to the Deputy President William Ruto. He could send me some money. I think it was 500,000 shillings a week. And that is how I managed now to sustain and even increase the momentum that gave Murunga a run for his money. could not even manage a half of the votes that were garnered in my favor.
Hey, Mheshimiwa, you have such a story. Inaonekana tutakaa tu hapa mpaka asubuhi.
Yeah.
So, Mheshimiwa, you got lucky. You were elected.
Yeah.
You found Kimilili in a way you partly described it. Then what was on your mind in terms of what you needed to do and vis-a-vis what you have done to date?
You know, even before we get that, when I was working with the Kenya Defense Forces, I joined the military as a tradesman within the trade of electrical engineering, because I had done civilian training in electrical engineering power option. So when I joined the military, the Kenya Air Force, they told me that they will have to take me to KAFTEC, by then Kenya Armed Forces Technical Training College. Nowadays it's called DIFTEC, Defense Forces Technical Training College. And they were to convert me from an electrical engineer to an avionics engineer so that I can deal with the planes. Then the base commander by then was General Ogola.
Ogola, yeah.
The late General Ogola, the base commander of Laikipia base. Then I think in some way he told me that I'm a very intelligent and organized soldier. So he put me to work in his office. And you know, in his office, we just do small things. There were flowers, you water them, you ensure people have milked these cows, you know, those kind of things.
Now that is at home?
No, in the Laikipia days. But of course, those who go to milk these cows, which is home, they will leave their base, go, to arrange for their transport. They are dropped by a Land Rover to go and milk these cows and come. And that, by that time, you know, we the people that I went with them in school, most of them were working in Kenya Power. They had risen to that assistant engineer, customer service engineer. And me, I was just engaged in watering some flowers around the Laikipia base. Then what I decided that I began to look for another job, another employment. Applied a number of jobs there, and I think I got a job with Kenya Airways as an aircraft technician. And then now I was left to come back and clear. So when I applied to exit the service, General Gola told me to put it in writing and addressed the letter to officer in charge of administration. I did the letter, then they called me for a verbal reply after about a week that my application to exit the service was not successful because the government of Kenya has not returned the money they used to train me. So that job got lost. I got another one in African Development Bank. Of course, by then, you know, we had repealed the Factories and Other Places of Work Act, and they replaced it with the Occupational Health and Safety Act of 2007. So institutions were now hiring people as safety engineers, safety officers. So I got a job with the African Development Bank as a safety officer with the responsibility of ensuring that the contractors who are implementing AFDB funded projects comply with that act of safety regulations, and people are operating in an environment that will not jeopardize their health.
Yes.
That job also disappeared because the military could not let me go, simply because the government of Kenya had not recouped back the money they used to train me. I got another job with a teacher service commission. This time around, they suspended my effective date until I clear with the military. Like I said, I was very lucky. The same time, many Kenyan soldiers were going to work with a company called KBR Logicap. These are logistic companies that were offering logistics support to the UN mission in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, those countries. And they were not so keen with your discharge certificate, because they were simply aware that the military was not releasing soldiers to go and pick up those employment. So when I got this job, I left and I told my boss that I am leaving and I will not come back again. So I left. When I left, and went, picked up that appointment. So actually, during that period that I had left, there is something they call absent without leave. So a war. And as per the military act, Armed Forces Act, when you disappear for below 42 days, you are actually absent without leave. When you disappear for more than 42 days, you become a deserter. And during that time, the military police were looking for me. They could even come and camp here in Amawanga chief's offices, but they wouldn't say why they were looking for me. They just say, we are looking for DIDMUS. They have my picture, my photograph. They're looking for me. That is the military tradition. If I was found at that time, they would take me to the barracks, take me through some small disciplinary procedures, and then give me back the gun. I continue working with them. But I was a bit intelligent. I had read all those acts, because I never wanted to go back again. So I disappeared because I had my civilian education. I did not mind being labeled a deserter and then finally be dismissed, because by that time, leaving the military was very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. And there are very many things around that were misinformed. And even when the military police were looking for me to take me back to the barracks, to the base, now there were a lot of speculations that I have stolen money, I have done this, I've done that, which was not true and it was not the case. So it came to haunt me even when I was running for parliamentary. People begin to say, this man is not straightforward, he's a con man, he stole money from the military, they were looking for him, simply because the military police were looking for me because I was award, absent without leave, and they were to take me back to the military. So,
was that the same thing that happened to Sport Pesa?
No. When I left Polore Africa Logistics, by saying that the above named no longer works with us, he is not therefore allowed to engage in any transaction on behalf of our company. They were simply informing their shareholders that I've left them.
You've left.
I no longer work with them. There was nothing criminal about that disclaimer. Nothing at all. And I think the people who engineered that advert were my enemies within the company. I remember I was the only black man. No, I think we were two. We were two black Kenyans who were in charge of a regional portfolio at that time. I think we were not very many. And rather, we were only two black Kenyans that whites were reporting to. You know, okay. I had some country managers who had a dotted reporting line to me. Yeah, okay. On matters quality, health, and safety. And there is one German called Stephen Bastian. He was in charge of Mombasa branch. So this man, he says I terrorized him because you see when you are in charge of the health and safety portfolio of an institution, you are actually ensuring that branch managers, the head of businesses, are actually complying with the firm's health and safety regulations. And at times we could even, the firm was faced with the serious challenges of losing business for Tulo Oil, PG Gas, Total E&P in Uganda, because of failure to adhere to the oil and gas health and safety management systems. And I did a report that led to a disciplinary action being taken against that Stephen Bastian. So when I left the institution to run politics, the guy was brought in Nairobi to be now in charge of Kenyan business, And I think the guy just out of vengeance just decided to put my picture on the newspaper because he knew that I was running for a parliamentary seat. And I also met, up to today, I haven't confirmed, but I'm thinking Jamile Kamau was involved in somehow because when I was leaving the farm, Jamile Kamau had a security company called Brinks Security. He was offering guarding services and CIT services, cash in transit services. I left when I had terminated his contract because the security was also part of my portfolio. So I had terminated this, whatever. So I'm tend to think it was all some small corporate politics, which I managed to overcome anyway. So when I was now here running for parliamentary seat in 2017, those things resurfaced at that time. But the people of KIMILILI who had known me for very many years, they knew me as a very hardworking young man, good-hearted young man, people's focus, very amiable. Without boundaries, I don't choose who to associate with. They ignored those things and elected me as a member of parliament. When I was elected, believe me, the roads were bad. The roads were completely impassable. Many roads here in KIMILILI constituency, they were very impassable. We had around 18 schools that were mud wall. I came out with a program that saw all those mud wall schools, they were replaced within a record 1 year with modern enough classrooms. We actually built the whole schools. We moved Tarajamungu from where it was in makeshift structures that were owned by AP to a new site. We bought land, And we erected enough classrooms. As we speak today, Tarajamungu Primary School has 8 classrooms, story building, and 8 single classrooms that are not story building. The school is complete now as we speak today. We are also putting cabro and tiling and landscaping. So the school very soon will be a real center of excellence, you know. Same to Alan Bradley, same to Namahere, same to Ngoli Primary School, Misi Khomeini SDA, Bunda Primary School, Hamlati DP Primary School, Asem Kikwechi Primary School, Namasana Primary School, Mahonge Primary School, Matisi Primary Schools, among very many schools that at the time of my election as Member of Parliament for KIMILILI in 2017, they were all mad world. And from that time, I developed a philosophy that while we had around 70 primary schools and around 40 secondary schools, I cannot be popular in every part of this constituency because the attempt and the desire of being popular from every part of your constituency can make you fragment these developments. Where at that time our CDF allocation was around 80 million. The money for development could be around 50 million. So the appetite of being popular everywhere can drive somebody to fragment small developments, where you take the 50 million, divide by the 70 primary schools, plus 40 secondary schools, where maybe you go to dish out a check of 300,000 in one school, where you've lined up the parents to clap for you, take another 560,000 shillings. But by the time you finish, you come back, there is no impact that the small money you've given to a school will give you. When we were submitting a proposal to the National Government CDF Board for approval, our proposal for KIMILILI was around 5 pages. But some constituencies had a proposal of up to maybe 30 pages because they had fragmented their small developments to very many schools. But as I said, I will identify schools that are in dire need of infrastructure. Yeah, and I will allocate like 14 million. You know, I build fewer schools in a financial year, but with massive impact. You know, yes. And I also I also said, you know, when I came in, CDF was funding projects in schools like KIMILILI Boys, schools like Moi Girls Kamsinga, French School Kamsinga. Me, when I came in, I said no. I said any secondary school that has a population of more than 500 students doesn't qualify for CDF allocation unless if it's bursary, because it's a rich school. If you look at a school like KIMILILI Boys, French School Kamsinga, their annual turnover is more than what we get at CDF. The capitation they receive per student from national government, from the Ministry of Education, put together the fees and just say 50% fee payment is more than what you receive as CDF. So I said, I am going to build the primary school and the startup secondary schools that has got no alternative source of funding. That is when I went and did, I registered and built Nasianda Secondary School, Kamkua Township High School, Friends #1 Secondary School. I built them, buying land, build them from scratch to where they stand today, you know? So that understanding about having a criteria that will disqualify some schools from having a share of our small CDF funds put me at loggerheads with some opponents who say that I'm But I stood my ground. Because if you go to inside the parents, for example, of KIMILILI Boys High School, that they have never benefited from my CDF, the same parents have students in various primary schools which I have built. So they never managed. When I came in towards the middle term of my first term as a member of parliament, I began to look for some small fundings for my secondary schools. Directly from the Ministry of Education, I will get 10 million, 12 million, 15 million, 20, the money which the Ministry of Education sends to the secondary schools to improve the infrastructure.
So this is away from CDF?
Yes, away from CDF.
Okay.
So that is how now I managed to begin now pushing some funds to a number of my secondary schools so that we can now lessen the burden of over dependence on CDF. So now I have CDF that now I can deploy to turn around the infrastructure in our primary schools. That's why, as we speak today, some people think it's a lie or it's a joke. My primary schools are better than some universities in Kenya. Yeah, I can give you an example.
Please.
If you go to Nashanda Primary School, you see the way Nashanda Primary School looks like. Go to
Tumepita hapo lakini kagiza kalikuwa kameanza kuingia.
Go to Kamkuya AC Primary School, I've mentioned. Yeah.
Kamkuya is the one you had the empowerment last time. Okay.
Yes. Go to KIMILILI RC Girls Primary School. Go to KIMILILI FIM Primary School. Go to Kitai. Go to Siuna. Go to Tarajamungu. Go to Huiroro. Go to Kamsinga AC Primary School. Go to Namahele Primary School. Go to Bituyu. Yeah. Go to Namawanga Bahai. Go to Matili FIM, Matili RC, Chelekei Bahai, Kambini CC. Yeah. Go to schools like Kamsinda RC, Kamsinda FIM, Kamasiro Primary School. Go to Suleiman Murunga Primary School. Go to Chesamis Primary School. Go to Nakalira Primary School. Go to Musembe. Go to Mahonge. I mean,
I would love to go to Chesamis Primary because that is I schooled at Chesamis.
Yes,
and I used to see how that primary was then.
And but I have also what I have done when we were told that there is a likelihood of CDF lapsing with this current financial year. In fact, we have been instructed this financial year that we forward the proposal that has funding to completion. Meaning the way as things stands now, CDF might lapse by mid next year as per the court directive. So me, what I've done from the last financial year, I am not building new schools. What I'm doing now, I am phasing out those very old structures from our schools. Yeah. So currently I have running contracts of about 15 schools. I have work going on in Siuna Primary School, Tarajamungu Primary School, KIMILILI FIM, Kitai. I have work going on in Kamsinga AC, KIMILILI RC Girls, KIMILILI DB Primary, Bituyu Primary, Matili FIM, Namwanga DB, Sehendu Primary, Kamasielo, Nakalira. Those are around 15 schools where I am doing putting tiles in the classrooms and putting cabro from the driveway from the gate to the school, landscaping. Yeah.
All those schools?
Absolutely. I'm doing all those schools.
Is that part of the proposal that you've just talked about, or
that one was already approved for last year?
Okay.
So this financial year now, the one which I'm forwarding, I've forwarded a proposal that which I'm waiting for approval to do the same, phasing out very old structures, putting tiles and cabro for Chemkwabi FYM Primary School, St. John's, Kibingai RC, commonly known as Miruri, Lutonyi Primary School, Huiroro Primary School, Matili RC Primary School. I've also done a proposal to do the same for Nasioya Primary, AIC Kimingichi, yeah, number 1 FYM Primary School, Mahindi Girls Secondary School, Mangale DEB, and socio primary schools. This year alone, I think I'm going to sort out like 20 schools. Yeah. Because renovation, cabro, tiling doesn't consume too much money. So by the end of this my parliamentary term, by next year, where CDF is supposed to lapse, I'm doing a documentary. Every school that I finish, I've engaged an international firm, a national firm that is documenting all these works. Yeah. And I think today I walk a proud man that I walked into Kimilili constituency as a young, newly elected member of parliament in 2017. Less than 10 years, I have kind of achieved 95% of my dream that I dreamed for the people of Kimilili constituency.
Mheshimiwa, there are those who raise concerns about those structures. They say some of them were brought up so fast and some have cracks and all sorts of claims. What do you have to say?
I like the way you are putting it. Claims. Those are just claims. I have always challenged those who say that our buildings are substandard to go and take pictures or videos and highlight them in media. For your information, the people who invented those claims were, I think, Wycliffe, Wangamati, and Ngome, and their cohorts. They wanted to use that thing to kind of discredit my leadership. But I took them to court. They are gagged.
How did the case go?
The case is ongoing. And I think they will pay me too much money. Because they say that CDF or Kimilili is managed from Nairobi. It is not the case. There is no CDF in Kenya that has ever managed from Nairobi. There is no such case. Not any that I am aware of.
So the papers Mheshimiwa Ngome was walking around with the...
Those were fake papers. Fake papers. No. Completely fake documents. The CDF for Kimilili constituency is managed from CDO offices here in Kimilili. No, it's not managed from anywhere. It's from here. Have we ever seen even the chairman of the CDF board and the CEO come to Kimilili to inspect buildings and say, this one we are launching it, we are beginning to build it, commissioning? No, we are the one who does it. You know, management of CDF from the 290 constituencies, we have a board that sits in Nairobi. The work of the board is to receive funding from Treasury and they disburse them to constituency development fund committees in the constituencies. They also receive proposals from 290 constituencies, go through them, approve them, put them upload them on their website, and manage project reports You know, in the community we have a fund manager who's an employee of the NGCDF board in Nairobi, who is the CEO, is like the accounting officer of our local CDFC committee. You know, with the bruising political battles I'm having with those that we are running against each other, do you think if there were schools that are inhabitable, that are condemned, do you think you could be seeing them everywhere on social media? You could see them everywhere. And by the way, even we are here live, and I'm sure that many of people from community constituency are watching. If you are aware of any story building which we built, and the children are learning from it because, like they say in quotes, it's collapsing, just call in and say this particular school is condemned. Children they no longer learn from these classrooms, and that it's collapsing. There is nothing. Those were just propaganda and fake news that were propagated by people who thought that the only way to stop my gubernatorial bid is to discredit my track record of management of CDF in community constituency.
Those people you mentioned nowadays seem to be a bit friendly with you. They don't use, or is it because of the court case that?
But of course, no, I took them to court because you cannot peddle rumors, things which are not true. You know, that CDF or KIMILILI is managed from Nairobi, that those buildings, that story buildings that I built, at least they recognize that they are story buildings which I built. So, but only went ahead to discredit them. For your information, it was very difficult for Makali to beat Oflomnin, who had been a member of parliament for more than 3 terms. The Selismi, the same. And Makali, John Murumba Chikati, if you go and watch their clips during campaigns, including even Jack Wamboka, they were using KIMILILI as a benchmark. They were saying, they were telling their voters that it cannot be that KIMILILI constituency has a young, vibrant member of parliament who have just been a member of parliament for less than 5 years. But when you go there, you will see primary schools with magnificent story buildings. Children are learning from very conducive environment. It cannot be that whatever is happening in KIMILILI is not happening here in Kandui, yet a member of parliament has been around for more than 15 years. The same to Tongaren. And the people of Tongaren and Kandui heed the advice of Makali and the Chikati, and they sent one of their longest serving members of parliament home. But of course, also there are people who are saying that KIMILILI constituency is small and that Kandui is big, Tongaren is big, Bumula has got many schools during that time. But you see, in terms of coverage of development project, Nyinyi ought to have done more than me. Eseri ought to have done more than me because they have a long cumulative back-to-back record. You know, it's just like it doesn't matter if I'm in charge of kupalilia mahindi eka 2 na wewe unapalilia mahindi eka 50. Wewe umeanza mapema na mimi nimeanza after maybe 10 years. You know, the fact that even my constituency is small, but the number of schools that we've built, you should have more schools you've built than myself. We can only say that the number of schools remaining to be developed are more than the number of schools remaining for me, because my constituency is small and the US is big. You know, But then later on, towards the end of my first parliamentary period, we changed the law. I think the law was sponsored by Dr. Simiyu Eseli. We repealed our CDF Act, you know, so we don't receive the same amount of money from that time. In Bungoma, Bumula, Kandui, and Tongaren, and Mount Elgon. Gates are on share, followed by Kimilili and the Kapchai. Kimilili, Kapchai, and Webuye West. Yeah, because we have, and then the constituency that gets least amount of CDF is Serisia and Webuye East, because they have 3 wards. As we have 4, Kapchai have 4, Webuye West have 4. Kandui, Tongaren, Mount Elgon, they have more. That one who gets the highest amount of money. So it is not about the size of the constituency, but it's about the plan, how you plan your record, your development proposal. If you fragment the money you have in so many small projects, you are building toilets here, you are building a gate here, you are building 1 classroom, renovating 3. Then by the time of when your parliamentary term lapses, you know, you can't really see that there is nothing that will stand out. You know, like when I began here, I said I don't have to be popular in every part of my constituency. That I have to take a check to all my schools here. I began from somewhere and ended from somewhere. And when I went to 22 elections, even the areas where I had not built anything, I got more votes than from the areas where I built. People were saying, tunakurudisha utujengea gorofa kama hilo ulijenga mahali fulani, you know. And I think that is what makes me love our people. Our people are very good people. All you require is to explain to them that we can't build all the school in one go. We must begin from somewhere and end in somewhere. Government work will never end.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, so far so good. We've talked quite a lot about schools and therefore education. We also know that the infrastructure, mainly roads, there are some that are within your jurisdiction. So maybe you can just highlight that tumekuja tukapata kuna lami hapo. In fact, I was just telling my crew that juzi nilisikia Mheshimiwa Luka akisema tumetengeneza lami mpaka kwako. So
you know,
yes,
that's a very good point that you are making. And I will open some document here, which I will later on take you through. When I was if you look at and you can go to Kera website and check.
yes.
When I was elected in 2017, our RMLF share, RMLF is Road Maintenance Levy Fund. Every liter of fuel that you buy from a petrol station, there is some money which you pay. That money is collected by KRA, sent to Kenya Roads Board. Then Kenya Roads Board will share this money across various agencies. So when I came in as a member of parliament, we had there is the money 22%
Yes.
of the RMLF collections is sent to Kera to do sport maintenance of roads in 290 constituencies. This fund is patronized by a constituency roads committee. where the chairman of CDF and some 2 members of CDFC committee and one co-opted and one nominated by the member of parliament forms constituency roads committee. Kera will second an engineer to be the secretary of the constituency roads committee. When I was elected at that time, I found out that my predecessor was using this 20 million, 21 million, 22%.
Yes.
They also had 10%, which was around 11 million at that time. Total 31 million. You will see when this 31 million, they were fragmenting them in on very small amount of money on small roads. If you go there and check, you will see the roads that were being advertised those years going back. They were putting some roads 2.5 million, 3.1 million, so that they can do very many roads. But again, they won't last. So when I came in, I'll change the system. We allocate minimum 10 million per road, and then a long road, so that you do a standard road, you put proper maram, you compact, the road becomes long lasting. But of course, we increased this money later on to around 42 million. So me, I only usually do around 4 roads using that CRC. Luckily, and I want to be very clear on this, when you are elected member of parliament, you choose the committee you want to serve in. You choose the committee. And while choosing this committee, I say this because a few members of parliament who do not understand have been accusing me that I don't use my position as vice chair of roads to benefit the county. We are 9 of us.
Yes.
We are 9 of us. Each one of us belongs to a particular committee. And that committee, the benefits largely are for your constituency. You get the point? Because you serve on that committee courtesy of the people who elected you. In so much as you're working for the country, but your interests are for your constituency. So me, I choose to go to roads committee, and I was given 2 options: to be the chair of a trade committee, because I am senior, I'm doing my 2nd term. When you do a 2nd term, you become a chairman. So I was given an opportunity to either choose from being the chairperson of a trade committee or the vice chair of roads committee. So I chose to be the vice chair of roads committee. Pepela went to express his desire to serve on the departmental committee of health. Makali akasema yeye ni wakili tajika, atumie taaluma yake ya sheria, akaingia kwa JLAC, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Catherine Mwambilanga akasema yeye is a unionist, so she wants to serve in the Labor Committee, Education Committee. That's where she is serving. Fred Kapondi, I think he serves in the Committee of National Administration and Security, because he said his area has been faced with some insecurity challenges, and they will serve his constituents better if he is a member of Security and National Administration Committee. He serves there, and I think he was a member of CDF Select Committee. You get the point?
Yes.
Jack was in the opposition. They had their own meeting there, and he was lucky. He chose to be a member of PIC, and he was elected chair of PIC in charge of governance and education. He's comfortable there. So,
Waluke,
I think Jubilee, I don't know. The people that I know are the people that were in Kenya Kwanza.
Okay.
And the opposition. I don't know which committee Waluke serves in.
All right.
I'm not aware. So, The same members of parliament. Let me tell you the irony. The same member of parliament.
Yes.
In one hand, they will accuse me of not using my position as vice chair to develop the roads in Bungoma, on one hand. But on the other hand, the same member of parliament, when there is a road being done in their constituency, and I attempt to say I'm the man who put the money, they say no, they are the ones who put the money. Do you see the irony? You know, like, let me give you an example. If you go to Syria, I struggled, I made noise on the committee to ensure that we have enough funding for the road from Mayanja to Visuni. Yeah? I made sure that there is money for sport maintenance of the road from Ruahaha past Sirisia, Chwele, Kimilili to Kamkuya. I have always ensured there is a road that belongs to Kenha, Malakisi Ruatama Road. Is done. I have always ensured they put the money to there. Of course, you see my interest as the vice chair of the committee that there is no money that can be appropriated by the government of Kenya without my signature as the vice chair of that committee. So my role is to safeguard the interests of the roads within my county where I come from. But of course, in the whole country, but more emphasis is put on Bungoma. In Ibumula, the road from that was completed at the time mid last year, the road from Mateka to Muanda to I think Santa Mara. You know that road?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
The other road from that we are struggling to ensure that we have got enough funds to complete is that Mianga road. You get the point?
Yes.
Yeah. The Kandui ones, the one from the one that was told from Navaholo past Sangalo, because the other side of Mungati it was done. You get the point?
Yes.
The road from Kapchai, the one that runs from Nalondo to Mayanja, the one that's supposed now to cross over to Bisumu, the other side. I've managed to push and put funds. The contractor now is back on site for the road from Sikata to KIMILILI. We are doing 2 kilometers from Hachonge because they already put the sub-base, so they're just putting cement and the later mark. Then they will also mobilize the other set of equipment then by January and begin from KIMILILI going down. You get the point?
Yes.
Even the Misuku Brigadier, of course, like I've told you, because of politics and hypocrisy, an individual can say DIDMUS is not using his position to push more road developments in our county, but when there is some construction of a road in their constituents, they say, wao wenyewe ndio wametafuta. And you see, me, I don't accuse any one of them. That why are you not using your position to assist me? You know, because we belong to different committees. Whether Makali as being a member of JLAC, whether he has a leeway of ensuring our courts are well funded, well allocated, building new courts, I don't know. You see, even Dan himself being the chair of sports committee, he took the sports academy to Bokole High School. We cannot lament because that Bokole High School doesn't only serve the people of Buya West, it serves the people of Bungoma. You get the point? Yeah. So, and the only my fallout with Waluke is that he came to my office looking for. There are 2 Kenha roads in his constituency. Yeah.
Yes.
So we put some money to sort out those roads. So Waluke came to my office that I should take him to a Director General for Kenha, so that those roads, even though I had put money and that the tender should be awarded to an individual where Waluke had an interest in. So I tried, but I did not manage. And I think that is how my fallout with him began to grow to a level where now he said, I am not qualified to be governor of Bungoma. You know, he came to my office, my private office in Westlands, you know, with the name of a company. And I think even I still have the messages here, that because I had put money. So instead of even appreciating that I had put money, about 30 million to do a road in his constituency, he came to accuse me.
Mheshimiwa, there's this road that I used yesterday. Was it yesterday? When were you at Sirisia? The other day when I was doing the live stream. This road from Chwele. But do you have plans to redo it? And maybe as you respond, you can also give us the timelines for the Sikata KIMILILI road.
What we are doing, we are negotiating. In fact, I will leave the country with the PS and the minister on next week, I think on the 15th of this month. We are at the tail end. The government is negotiating with Trademark East Africa with a view of diverting the trucks. Instead of those trucks coming to pass Chwele and damage our roads, we are negotiating with Trademark East Africa to tarmac the road from Kimaeti to Ruahaha, through Malakisi, Ruahaha, so that the trucks that are going to Uganda through Ruahaha can be diverted, not to come through KIMILILI, but they can go through that road. So we are at the tail end of doing that. Before I come to that one, we have some roads which were advertised. I saw I saw some people saying that these roads were majorly from the budget which we did last year. And some of these roads that I'm going to read here, there are some MPs who will forward them to me. Yeah? To ensure that they are within our budget. There are others who will go direct to the minister for those roads to be put in budget for consideration. Irregardless of where those leaders forwarded those roads to, eventually it will land on my desk and they will say, niko na hii barabara yangu nimeweka pale, please nichungie wasitoe. Because you see, there is a lot of mutilation in budget documents. So until the document is adopted and signed by the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure, and we defend it before Budget Committee, you are not sure that the roads which either you forwarded to the president or forwarded to the minister has been included. So I'm the one who ensures that all those roads have been put here. But these ones they are only roads which are small money under care. So I had some people making noise about that many roads were here or there. A constituency like Mount Elgon, the only many roads they have are for care, are rural roads, because it's a completely rural constituency. So it is clear that when the roads are advertised, you'll see many Kera roads advertised in Mount Elgon, because it's completely, Kura has got no jurisdiction in Mount Elgon. Yeah, it's only Kera. In Kimilili here, we have both Kenha and Kura. Kandui, we have both Kenha and Kura. You know? Sirisha, we have both Kera and Kura. So, when Kera will, for you to make a reasonable argument about which road, which constituency has gotten more roads than the other, yes, you have to look at the advertisement of Kera, Kura, and Kenha. Then you can do a comparison. There are some, I am sure when Kenha will advertise their roads, there will be no road for Kenha in Mount Elgon. When Kura will advertise their roads, there will be no road for Kura in Mount Elgon. So other constituencies will register more benefits. So like for example here from my records, the roads which were advertised under Kera, we have, I will begin from the downwards. Stand Kibisi Kibunde, of course this road is in Kimilili. Shanda Musambichi, in Kimilili. Las Kisembe Cathedral, Joel Masika Wasura, Waka, St. Juliana Junction, Mpaka, Banan, Tega, Korogutun, Marigo, Market, Mukuya Bridge, Baptist Musanyi Roads, Maina Primary, Chris Peter, Kaisha Wasike, Mukulima na Susi Chesamisi, Mufupi Mukuyuni na Itiri, Kimnini Market, Ndalu Brigadier, Sikusi Muhoya Lurende, Katenya Junction, Masaik KDF Kaboriot Road, Kimilili Kapsokon. I heard Sakaria saying that this Kimilili Kapsokon is in Mount Elgon. It is not. Kimilili Kapsokon, it is 2 kilometers in Mount Elgon and 5 kilometers in Kimilili. And it is a very pivotal link road between Kimilili and Mount Elgon. The road that runs from Maini to Mount Elgon. Okay. You have Kapchebuk, Korogutun, Kopsiro, Kaptama, Koptichor Road, Cheskaki, Cheptais, Chepkube, Masaik Road. Of course, these ones are for Kera, new projects. But we have got ongoing. So when you are coming up with a new project to fund, you also look at the ongoing ones. We have constituencies that has got ongoing roads. Okay. Yeah, that are not, you know, and at times you don't say because you know, when I communicate here, even the whole country is watching. I don't want to jeopardize what we do at the community level, but I can tell you for a fact that if members of parliament are honest, the only member of parliament who has used his committee to benefit the whole county, it's me, DIDMUS Barasa. At least most of them will tell you they have been in my office to lobby for this project, apart from Dan one. Dan has never been to my office. But the rest of Dan and Fred Kapont, they have never been to my office.
Oluke?
Several times.
So even with this banter during elections,
no, Oluke, I've been in my office several times, looking for this development, looking for roads, chasing tenders. So what I cannot be able to do, no, Oluke is the problem with Oluke is that he's a good man and he's very forceful. His only problem that he's very impatient. You know, he's very impatient. He comes to your office, he says he wants ABCD, 2-3 days. He says you are becoming a bad person. Anasema unakula peke yako, unashindwa, what is it that you are eating peke yako? And we are all equal members of parliament.
Anataka instant results.
We chose to serve in the committees that we serve in differently. You know, all these members of parliament, and I can say it here, you know, as much as Jack is not a member of Kenya Kwanza coalition, at least he appreciates my small efforts. If you put some small carrot, no, there are very many roads which you don't mention, and that are within my purview. Small gravel roads of 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. Those ones I can be able to manage. But the roads of 200 million, 150, I cannot manage because the originator of budget document and estimates is the cabinet. So I only have a leeway of these small roads of 10 million, 15 million, which I give them. During my first year as vice chair of roads, I think I benefited everybody. I put roads in all the 9 constituencies, everywhere, you know. But the problem where I fell out with most of these MPs is that while we put roads money in those all those ones, they wanted to be the one doing them. And the competition on who should do them, that's not within my party. You go and deal with the other people who manages the procurement systems going there. You get the point? Yes. But at that time, I think I appreciate Chikati. He even said publicly in his constituency to appreciate me for giving him some road. Yeah. Pepela also feels he was entitled, so there is nothing like appreciating and the other people. But that is how life is. You don't really blame these other people. And I think that is the point of departure with myself and many of my colleagues. I think when I bought a helicopter and when I ran around with doing these my very many meetings, them they don't view it as hard work, you know. They view it like this man is the only MP in Bungoma who is making money, so he's eating alone. You get the point. But we are all equal members of parliament, and we eat depending on the length of the rope. Wanasema ng'ombe inakula nyasi kulingana na urefu ya kamba. That's what they say.
Mheshimiwa, you went ahead to do a construction of a Huduma Center. I think if I'm not wrong, you also did a structure for artists, or is it a library? Can you tell us something about that?
I did a library, an ICT center, and I did a room where we were to equip it. We are making it a recording studio. Then the laws changed, and library services were devolved. So I handed over that library to Engineer Agnes Wachie by then. That time she was in charge of library services were falling under her purview. Okay. So I handed over. The library is functioning. The ICT is functioning. I handed over to them. It's there next to my CDF offices.
They're functioning now?
Yes, it's functioning.
We don't hear about them.
It's there, it's functioning. It's there.
Okay.
It's functioning. You pass there, it's functioning. Even my labels are still there. DIDMUS Barasha. Okay. But I handed it over to the county government. I'm also putting up our Huduma Center. Is about 97% complete. And we are planning that in the next couple of weeks, when the president will be visiting Bungoma to launch commencement of construction of a number of projects, he will be able to open it. The next time William will be coming to Bungoma, he will come to open our Huduma Center in the constituency. And on record, it's the biggest in the country, bigger than the one in GPO. Many Huduma centers in Kenya were converted from the space that were being used by telecoms. You know when some picked some spaces in the poster, like the one in Bungoma. It's a shell. What we have put it here is a modern structure. It is the best in this country.
Some of the features include?
It's just a Huduma Center, but the space is bigger because they are going to house. The Huduma Center in KIMILILI will be able to provide some services which are not found in Bungoma.
You mean?
Yes. Some services are not found in Bungoma because the space in Bungoma is small. Huduma Center, actually, it is just a building where various offices of government that offers various services to the Kenyan people will second their staff and set up a desk.
Okay.
DCI will have a desk. Higher Education Laws Board will have their desk. Registrar of Persons, NTSA will have their space.
Immigration.
Registrar of Persons will have their desk. Passport Control will have their desk. So we will have more services available in KIMILILI because the space, when we were designing that building, we designed it with one thing in mind, that we wanted that building to house and accommodate a desk for all the departments in Kenya that provide services to the Kenyan people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mheshimiwa, that is good. You also extended your generosity to other areas within the county. And by this, I'm talking about the facilities like the health center ile ulifanya huko Kitale. I don't know whether you have...
Yeah, but you know, even before we come to that, you know, as much as Waluke was accusing me of tamaking a road that passes my home, number one, I am not the governor of Bungoma as we speak today. I am seeking to be governor of Bungoma, but now I am MP for KIMILILI constituency. For his information, I began tamaking the road from KIMILILI town to Chepkwabi. Yeah, we are remaining with the 1 kilometer to Chepkwabi market.
How much does it cost?
We, of course, we do stage construction where every year we put like 50 million, 60, and we do up to the cost of that amount of money.
Okay.
I have committed this road from Rashid to Nasianda. And I've also gotten some funding to begin from Rashid to Kibigei, so that we have this to Rashid going up to Chepkwabi. Then we have also that one from Rashid going to past Musiole up to Kibigei, Taratabili to join the Kisikata KIMILILI road. Yeah. I've also, if you look at this advertisement, I've also managed to push some funds to continue with the tarmac of Mukulima and Susu Chesamis Road. It has been advertised. We did from Machinjoni up to around past Mukulima. So we are going to extend it to join the road from Kamkuya to Chesamis to Kaptama. Yeah. We have always managed to secure money every year to ensure the road from KIMILILI to Misiho is well done. That road was begun by Selismi. He's the one who brought that tarmac. So me, I'm ensuring that the road doesn't dilapidate, so that every year we put there around 45 million to repair just the potholes to ensure it's up to date. Yeah. I also have a plan for your information. The road from Kibisi here, the road doesn't exist, but we are opening up a new road from Kibisi here to Kimoi area up to a stage Kibisi. Just been advertised, and we will do all the way to Kibunde. You know, a standard road. I have also a running contract, which the contractor can come on site anytime to tarmac the road from Temba to Chepkwabi. Yeah. So that's why I feel like the people from the other side that are a bit disadvantaged. That's why I have managed, and I'm happy that we are doing the road from Maini to Kapsokon, and we're also doing the road from Mukulima to Chesamis. So when that one is done, I think you must appreciate that as a young member of parliament for KIMILILI, I have tried where it was not easy for my predecessors to do. In my constituency here, the roads are good. Even at times, I go out of my way to do roads that are not under national government. In my constituency, the road from Misiho to Kabini, it is not for national government. That road is for county government. But I do it every time. I do the road that passes Cherekai Primary School every year. It doesn't belong to the national government. It's for the county government. I do the road from Matili Market through Sihendu. It's not for the county, for national government, it's for county government, but I do it.
So you use CDF
I
money
do
for that?
No, not CDF, government money, because I'm a vice chair of roads committee. Yeah, I do the roads from Matili, past Sango to Bahai. It's county, but I do it every year. Okay. I do the road from Mahidi Market to Nasusi Market, from Nasusi Market to number 1. It's not for national government, but I do them every year because I'm the vice chair of the roads committee. I ensure that I put 10 million on those roads every year, something which is within my management every year. I do those roads. You know, I do the road from Nasianda to Siuna. I've been maintaining it every year until I've started to put tarmac. It was very difficult to move from stage Kibisi to Kibingei, to Rusaenyi, to Kibunde, at the bridge of Kuya River before you go to Bokoi. But then I said, I'm a member of parliament for KIMILILI, and I have an opportunity to allocate money. And if there are people that I must appreciate, is the CEC in charge of roads in Bungoma County. Bonaventure Chengek, Chemaket. It's a very good man. Because you see what will happen that for the national government to grade and gravel a county government road, you must seek for an approval from them. You do a letter of no objection. And I have never seen them bring petty politics. And even also my MCS, all of them, from Obama to Christine to Idi to Agri Mulongo, they are very good people. You know, I have never seen the things I see in Webuye East, where when you go to do a road that belongs to this group or this group, they want to protest, say you cannot do it, it chases you away. We've never had those kind of things in my constituency. You know, where the Huduma Center sits, it sits on county government land. We brought down a milk cooler. You know, if it were in some other constituencies, you will see when the MP and the MCA fight. You know, and I began building that Huduma Center without the approval by the Department of Lands, which is under the county government. And I must also appreciate the success that the Huduma Center in KIMILILI will bring. That story, its telling will never be complete without a mention of a man called Sasita. You know? When we began putting up that Huduma Center, yeah, we had not gotten an approval from CEC in charge of lands, Sasita, you know, in accordance with the law. You know, Sasita kind of regularized it. But if he chose to, of course, he called me, he was a bit hungry and being a good man the way I am, I was a bit very low. I was very apologetic to him. I said, I'm very sorry, Bwana Waziri, blah, 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 you know, because I have powers as a member of parliament, but those powers don't have jurisdiction on a county land. The fact that the county land is in my constituency doesn't give me out that right to say we have to do whatever that we want. So when we will be telling the story about that Huduma Center, I think we will mention CEC Sasita on a footnote that he had he had all the powers to frustrate us, to say we are not bulging, and that you can't continue putting up this building because this is our land. But at least he just gave it a blind eye and regularized. After all, the people will get those services from that Huduma Center, from Kimilili, from Mount Elgon, from Tongaren, from the two Webuyes, and from Kapchai. They belong to Kenya and they belong to Bungoma County.
But the structural plans and what have you are duly processed?
Of course,
for the same structure.
when you do a Huduma Center,
Yes.
first, the Minister for Public Service must approve. So this Huduma Center was approved by Honorable Aisha Juma when she was Minister for Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action. Because the Huduma Center Secretariat is a parastatal within the State Department of Public Service, which is domiciled in the Ministry of Public Service. So they must look at their budget and approve. Once they approve, they will give you a letter and they will give you the guidelines on the drawings that you're supposed to generate. Once you have engaged an architect and they has come out with the BQs and the building itself, you have to take it to the Huduma Center for approval. As we speak today, we set up a Huduma Center Management Committee where the manager of Huduma Center in Bungoma is a member. His role is to ensure that the design, the implementations falls within the standards of Huduma Center. They are already also putting employees of the various agencies that will be providing services to the people coming from that Huduma Center as we speak today. They are mobilizing their computers and everything. Our role as KIMILILI NGCDF is to ensure that the building is ready, available. We do partitioning in a manner that they desire, in a manner that they have prescribed. So once we have done glass partitioning inside, and we have put desks and workstations, then they will bring their computers and the staff.
Wow, Mheshimiwa. I had asked you a question about the hospital you did at...
a very good question.
Yes.
I am also one of the very few philanthropists in our county of Bungoma. I have, when you are a member of parliament, you are potentially a rich person. Because number one, your salary is more than $1 million. You have privileges that includes being paid for traveling to your constituency through mileage claims. Yeah. You also have the privilege of when you travel to the foreign countries for a week or something, you are paid quite some good money. I also have the privilege of becoming a businessman by design, by the fact that I'm a member of parliament. Become now, I have an opportunity of accessing opportunities across the world. Yeah. For your information, I have a farm that is domiciled in Malaysia. This farm,
Yes.
I wash planes in an airport called Subang. In Subang Airport.
You wash planes?
Yes, I wash planes. I have an equivalent of a car wash in Malaysia. Even aeroplanes are washed.
I agree.
They are washed.
Yes.
Every time a plane returns from a safari, it's washed.
Yes.
So I have a farm that cleans planes in Subang Airport. Subang Airport, it is an equivalent of a Wilson Airport in Malaysia. I go to Malaysia every time. That's where I bought this aircraft from, the aircraft that I have, And I am a businessman, a successful businessman, to say the least.
How much was your plane, Mheshimiwa?
My plane costed around an equivalent of 180 million Kenya shillings. It's fairly used to the new one, costs around 200 million.
180.
Yes.
Shuma, you must be a very rich person.
I am a hard worker. And you see, I am a philanthropist.
Yeah.
Beginning from my constituency here, I have an ambulance that offers free ambulatory services.
Correct.
A county government ambulance is only gotten after, I think, paying 7,000 shillings. You can't get it for free. Mine runs it for free, unless if it's a hospital that is requesting, because at times, hospitals like Dreamland were using my ambulance because they didn't have one. So them, I would tell them to put fuel, yeah, to evacuate a patient from the hospital to another hospital, yeah. I have, I had a dispensary here called Bahai Dispensary. They had only one ward. I built them an extra ward. They didn't have any other facility. I built a TB center. I built a comprehensive care center. A comprehensive care center is where patients that are living with HIV and AIDS goes to replenish their medicine and all things, services related to that disease. So it was a bit clear. So I built them a special place where they don't mix. I built a place where after women have given birth, they will go back after some times for child maternal care center. You know, that is for Bahai Dispensary. It stands out up to today. Yeah. The money that I used are from our own pocket, because you have to give back to society. You must appreciate that the privilege you enjoy as a member of parliament came because not through you, not that you went for an interview and passed, but it came because of the generosity and the magnanimity of the great people of KIMILILI constituency. I've also put up another ward at my own dispensary, right? I went and completed a maternity wing at Ekitale dispensary when I was asked by the people from that particular area that I should complete it, and I completed it.
So all these facilities you're mentioning, you completed using your own funds?
My own funds.
Okay.
Because you see, you have to, you know, and I think the Bible says God loves a cheerful giver. You know. So, and there is this thing which some people have kept on mentioning. You know, there was a dispute that emanated from an incident in Chepwabi Primary School, where I was accused of misusing my firearm, resulting into death of an innocent young man. We went through the whole court process. That dispute was never dropped. That dispute went to full hearing and determination. Even the judgment is available. And I think even I had you forward to me the same judgment.
I did.
You have them.
I did, yes.
There were more than 10 guns on site. All the 10 guns were capable of firing the type of ammunition that was found in the body of the deceased. You know? And it was clear at that time. My firearm was in Nairobi. I was not carrying that firearm. You know? Evidently clear. The firearm was subjected to two processes: ballistic analysis and the laboratory analysis. Ballistic analysis, where you look at the cartridge that was found there and the bullet that was in the head of the deceased. You look at it vis-a-vis the specific marks that the gun will leave on the cartridge or on the bullet head. came out to be 0. They did even the chemical composition of all the ammunition that were found in my house. They took them, discharged them, took the powder, subject them to laboratory analysis to confirm if the material composition was similar to the material composition that were found in the body of the deceased. They all came. Never.
Mheshimiwa, would you benefit your viewers right now with information on what really transpired? Vile uliingia, ulikuwaje? Kwa sababu hii nafikiri umesema kwa so many stations, but what we have never gotten is...
I went there. Even when you read that judgment, the witnesses, the IPC witnesses will tell you. I went there and walked into... First, I was in KIMILILI DB primary school. I heard that a similar incident has happened in Bumula, where guns were fired, and some people were shot in the legs, involving Mambu and Wamboka. I heard that Mambu's cars had been pulled to the police station with gunshots, and then I heard that I saw Eugene and Brian coming. So me, I said, I don't want fracas. Let me go very far away from where they're not here. So me, I went into my car and went to Chepkwai polling station. A few minutes, Brian comes in. He didn't sit. Me, I sat down, witnessing the voting, the counting. So he came in and stood there. He walked out. When he walked out, I heard commotions. Yeah, commotions, beating cars. I saw some mipini, horse sticks, had gunshots. I had 3 askaris who were armed. There were also other guns including Brian himself also had a gun. So I had gunshots. So I called, I think I even called Ken. I said, call the governor, but then governor candidate Ken Lusaka. I called him and said, where are you? There's some fracas here. I'm told Eugene is also in KIMILILI DB. Can you guys come here? Because I don't know what these people are up to. Yeah, I sat there. Gunshots were there. I didn't see anybody shot there that time. Nobody actually was seen lying, because when you are shot, you will either lying on the ground. Okay. I didn't saw anybody there. I called my father's security when they came in. Brian and the old his entourage had left. Nobody, there was no blood, no nothing.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yes.
Yeah. Then I left there to the challenge center at KIMILILI Boys. So when I was at the KIMILILI Boys, I saw on social media, my phone, that DIDMUS has shot someone dead. I said, what is this about? Yeah. I used my contacts there to find out what is happening. I told them it's true. There is somebody there who is dead at the hospital, who has arrived but had been pronounced dead. That they are saying I'm the one who shot them. So somebody advised me, saying, just switch off your phone and go and rest. So me, what I did, I switched off my phone. I told my team, now you continue keeping vigil here. I have to rush somewhere. So I went somewhere to rest.
Okay.
Then, of course, the news now was all over. Later on, I presented myself and subjected myself as a law-abiding citizen. I subjected myself to the full process of law, cooperated with the police until the truth came out. After 9 months, I was acquitted. Yeah. Even when I was going to court in Bungoma, I know you are aware, yes. I am not that man who likes these flashy things that you're going to court with your supporters singing solidarity with you. I knew there is nothing that whatever. And I also I'm aware that even appearing to court as a suspect is an indictment to one's integrity issues. So it's not something that you actually celebrate, that you carry your supporters to a courtroom. So just going to the courtroom alone, I sit there. Witnesses coming, they say whatever they want to say. They leave until that judgment day when I saw you with your gadgets.
Yeah, I was there.
Filming, you know. And I even laughed when I saw when people keep mentioning about that thing. You know, I even also sued Wangamati and Gome over the same because you can't usurp the powers of the Court of Appeal, overturn the ruling of the High Court and convict me. It's not possible. Because what the people who call me that I killed someone is actually like they have themselves set up a kangaroo court of appeal, appeal the decision of the High Court in Bungoma that acquitted me, that never even put me on defense, and now convicted me. They have no such powers. You know, that matter was
I noticed, I think it was on NTV or what, the parents to the boy, the deceased, were complaining about few things. I don't know whether they've ever reached you after that.
They have never reached out to me. I have never called them. You remember when the matter came up the first time, of course, they said I should not contact any witnesses, so I didn't. The matter went full hearing and it collapsed. You know, I am not, my case was never withdrawn or dropped by DPP.
Check on the Wi-Fi, it's being rained on.
You know, we went to full hearing. All the witnesses were called. No. Yeah, so that is it.
Yeah, Mheshimiwa, I think we've talked much about KIMILILI. We can switch gears to matters your ambitions. Why didn't you just go for KIMILILI once more?
I didn't because I am confident that the people of Bungoma will give me an opportunity to serve them as their governor. I am a bit popular in Bungoma. My candidature was received by jubilation by more than 50% of the people of Bungoma. Largely because, like I told you, in Tongaren, Chikati was campaigning for me all through when he was running against SLCMU by using KIMILILI as a benchmark. Pepela was campaigning for me in Webuye East. Jack was campaigning for me in Bumula. Makali was campaigning for me in Kandui when they were running to unseat the incubators at that time. Of course, then they were saying that if they were to be given an opportunity, their constituencies would be like KIMILILI constituency. They were doing it very objectively, and I just became a bit smart. I leveraged on, actually I leveraged on the campaigns that they were doing for me, repackaged what they were saying, and run away with it. And I will do it up to the very last day to elections in 2027.
Mheshimiwa, what is your relationship with the Speaker Wetangula in relation to your ambitions for the gubernatorial seat?
My relationship with Moses Wetangula is cordial. Once in a while we speak, but of course, when his brother declared the interest to run, and the majority of MCAs from his party, MPs from his party appeared to endorse team. Our relationship was a bit strained, but being a good boy who was raised up well, I didn't do what my Jimbo is doing. That now you declare war it's unhelpful and it's unnecessary. Because number one, Moses Masika Wetangula is a voter in Boma. He has every democratic right to choose who to vote for as governor. It can be me, it can be Malilo, it can be his brother, and you don't take it personal, that you personalize the attacks to him. I don't. But there are just a few characters around him who, by a fact that they don't support my gubernatorial bid, but they feel like if he endorses me, maybe I will be unstoppable, or rather they feel like I am popular because he endorsed me at some point, and that for them now to cut short my political ambitions to be governor of Bungoma is to engineer a war and a verbal attack between me and the Speaker of the National Assembly, where they will bring me some gossips to mean that Wetangula is planning this and that against me. They will also go to Wetangula and take him some cheap pedestrian gossips and propaganda that I'm also planning to do this and that against him. So they want to have a Majimbo and Wetangula verbal exchanges that we are witnessing in the last 2 weeks. But let me tell you, Edu, even if tomorrow Moses Masika Wetangula endorses his brother, or the very many gubernatorial candidates that have expressed interest to run for the governor of Bungoma in 2027, I will never raise my finger at him. I will never tag him. I will never. Because he is not part of my manifesto. I was never born to be supported by him. You know, fate just put us together. And he has every right to support whoever that he feels fits or foots the ideals of the party he leads as party leader. I will not. I will focus on my race, and I will focus on my opponents individually the way they are. But I will never drag the name of Wetangula in my politics.
Does Wafula Wakoli support you?
From where I sit, is a fence sitter. He sits on the fence. He's engaging in wait and see.
But of course, you are expecting that since you stood by him at time of need, he should be doing the same?
No. The reason why I went out of my way to support Wafula Wakoli is because in my mind, I felt like I am a strong opinion in Bungoma on matters of politics. And I wanted to put that feeling to a test, you know? So Wafula was an underdog. His chances of winning at the time when I made my decision to support him were 8%. Mwambu had 92% chances of winning. Like they say in English that you never leave any footprints behind if you walk in the footsteps of somebody going ahead of you. And I wanted to, because I had made a decision that I want to run for governor of Bungoma. So I supported Wafula Wakoli for 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted to have an opportunity to traverse every corner of our county so that the people of Bungoma can see me, can see this is DIDMUS Barasa. This is how he talks. This is how he attempted to persuade us to vote for his candidate. So that was one reason which I managed. I scored 100% because I traversed every part of these counties. In some areas where I have never gone. Wafula Wakoli gave me an opportunity by virtue that I was campaigning for him to go every part of this country. Number two, when I was going for some funerals in some parts of Bungoma, I could see the people could receive me with a lot of jubilation. They could cheer me up. You know, nikienda matango hachonge, watu wananiona naingia hivyo napiga makofi. So that made me feel like the people of Bungoma love me for real. And that I could one day redeem the love that the people of Bungoma have for me to be their governor and actually have an opportunity for them to have a feeling that I'm actually a good man and that I'm a good leader and that I can replicate what I've done in KIMILILI to the respective constituencies where they live in. So I wanted now to put that feeling into some kind of a test, into some kind of an analysis. And that could only mean campaigning for a candidate who is not popular and making popular. You know.
So Mheshimiwa, do you have
somehow I managed because today, today if you were to get the votes which Wafula got from KIMILILI, Tongaren. Okay, Tongaren you might say maybe Mount. Yeah? He wouldn't have beaten Mwambu. So somehow the killer political punch that propelled Wafula Wakoli to be the senator of Bungoma, I think, was provided by myself.
One day, I think it was at Mheshimiwa Muhongo's home, you said that you will be seeking the forgiveness of Mheshimiwa Mwambu for having the campaign name.
Yeah, you know, I even every time I listen to Mwambu speak,
yes,
in the presence of this tourist from Nairobi, I feel like he has always addressed me. I was with him a few days ago in a funeral in Brigadier. He also addressed me. Of course, he likes using proverbs, but his proverbs, I'm a native of Bukusuman, as much as I am Arab Muyai from Kungit. So I understand some of the things he tries to run around with. And I have appeared before him personally and asked him for forgiveness for having gone against the position of my party, UDA, and campaigned for Wafula Wakoli. Even when I made the decision that I'm not going to support him, I told him, I told him that my brother, you are my brother, you are my comrade in the struggle for financial freedom of our people from 2017 to date, because we went to parliament together. But this is the reason why I will not support you, and I will support Wafula Wakoli. You know, and we agreed at that time. But I still not happy with me. But generally, Mwambu as a person is older than me by age. He's a proud man. He lives in his own world, you know. He's a man who feels that all his opinions are superior. Even in functions where members of parliament are, he has always positioned himself as if he's a rank above us, that is his nature. That is his nature. Even me, people will provide a different version of me. You know, when given an opportunity to analyze the kind of a person I am, that is his person. 5 fingers on the hand are not the same. They are different. That's why he's called Moses Mabonga, and I am DIDMUS Barasa. But I have asked for forgiveness from him, and it's up to him on whether to forgive me or not. and I have been to his place. Politics is always a fair game. A fair game in terms of if there are two leaders in a particular area, for example, in Bumula, we have Jack and Mambu, the strong political figures. If Mambu is with a tourist, then I'll have to align myself with Jack. That is how it is. So politics is a very fair game. If an MC of a particular area supports my opponent, I must have somebody from the trenches and align myself with that person.
I've noticed that tactic.
That is the fairness, the fairness of a political game. You know, we might debate about between the two, the one supporting me and the one supporting my opponent, who has more clout, who has an opinion that shapes the perception of the voters in that particular area after 2027 gubernatorial results are announced.
That's good. Mheshimiwa, today, say Ford Kenya gives you a ticket or endorses you as its gubernatorial candidate. Would you abandon Nancy Kibaba for Catherine Wambilianga, for example, and all the other leaders running on a Ford Kenya ticket?
You know, I have supported Nancy Kibaba from the last election up to date. And at some point I had said that let the political fate and the political realignment decide on our political union. Because in less than 1.5 years to come from today, we will have political realignment. Political formations will naturally take shape. When these political formations naturally take shape, you will be shocked that even some people that never liked you are now forced by the rank and file of the party and political formations even to become your chief campaigners, because you find yourself in the same party. You find yourself in the same coalition. You find yourself in the same political strategy rooms, strategizing for each other. So I had said that I will let the political realities, the political formations that will happen 1.5 years from today, choose political friends for me until when I saw Catherine being a proponent of my competitor very viciously, using her networks to convene meetings, to give my competitor a more comparative advantage against me. So I said, let me go and pull Nancy. So I went and pulled Nancy, right? And the only reason why I may not support Nancy is if by any chance that the political formations and the realignment that will happen 1.5 years from today separates us, where I will be happy if we all be a beneficiary of the political formation that will be favoring me. But in the event that she goes a different way and pairs up as fate will have it with a party or a coalition that is not supporting me, that supports my opponent, I'll have to adjust and also do something. I'll give you an example of what happened in one of my wards here in KIMILILI constituency. many people, many MCA candidates did not have confidence that they can win on a UDA party. They thought that they can only win on Ford Kenya or independent. So during UDA nominations in one of the wards in my constituency, I was faced with a very difficult choice to make from. We had British, who's called Muriithi, and Christine. And the British was somehow a bit strong. I had literally come out before nominations. I had literally come out like a wounded lion, campaigning for Christine against British, because I felt that I even went up to our presidential candidate, William Ruto, and I told him, now I am in a situation which I wanted them to assist me. And I told them I have Kikuyu who is very strong in one of my wards. And there is my opponents are using a rumor that I am supporting a Kikuyu against a native, which was spoiling my politics. So I convened a meeting of the Kikuyu community in KIMILILI. And I told them to persuade British not to run. Yeah? I explained to them and they understood. So I went and met with the President Ruto when he was deputy. I explained to him. And he instructed Rigiji, because Rigiji was Kikuyu, to speak to British and persuade him not to run and put his name on the list for nominations as a minority from KIMILILI. British refused. Completely refused. Fact, Rigiji akaniambia, huyu mtu hapa kuna kiburi kabisa, amesema hiyo kiti hawezi wacha. Ataichukua asubuhi na mapema. So
you went head on.
We went head on. So he lost in the nomination. Christine won.
On which seat? Which party?
UDA. So Christine won. I breathed a sign of relief. The guy went independent. Again he lost by a small margin. Yeah. So at times you can be faced by a political reality that the popular candidate has run away from you, and the people left around you are not that very strong. It is your responsibility to make them strong, because you must win as a team. You know. So I am prepared to that reality. That in the event that these 45 wards, if the sitting members of the county assemblies don't support me, or at that time when political formations are taking shape, and that those that are popular are not with me, we have to put on a fight. Yeah, it will not just be about campaigning for myself, but I will be also trying to carry those aspirants that will be around me, because we have to win as a team.
Between the incumbents and those who are aspiring for these, say, MCA seats, from the few wards that you have done the experiment, who seem to be bringing you a worthy support? between incumbents? For example, there's a ward that probably the incumbent is not supporting you.
The MCS.
Yes.
You know, to be very honest with you, I do. Those MCS, from the bottom of their heart, most of them their problem with me may not be major. You know, it's not personal. It's just political, you know. And we live in a country where those with little powers intimidate those who benefit from the little powers that they have. I'll give an example. If the leader of majority of Bungoma County Assembly is for you, he will intimidate a number of MCAs also to support you because, number one, he holds a final say on where which committee an MCA will serve.
Correct.
So even if he calls you and tells you that why have you abandoned our candidate, you know, you will always have a feeling that once he's not happy, you will hear communication from the chair that he has received communication from Kenya Council Commission, moving a member of this particular ward from this committee to the other committee. It happens.
Yeah.
And I think when the leader of majority was the one who appeared to be the lead campaign manager for one of my opponents, the very many other MCAs may have read a false signal. The moment the Secretary General of Fort Kenya was part of the team, you know, the chair of Fort Kenya in Bungoma County was part of the team. I mean, common sense will tell you that all the Kenya Kwanza MCAs who have benefited and from the coalition strength in the assembly, and that they are serving in lucrative committees because of the magnanimity of the coalition, the Kenya Kwanza coalition, and of course Fort Kenya.
Yes.
They will rally behind that particular candidate. And I think that is what happened. But I can assure you, you've seen me at times when I move around. There are some wards or some constituencies where I go, I don't kind of propel any alternative candidate against the sitting one. The reason why I don't do that in some wards is because from that endorsement, many MCAs have gone quiet. I think the one that I've seen, apart from the nominated ones whom we will deal with in another forum, I think there's Sambu Mitua one. I've seen him because he has said that he will not defend his seat and that he wants to be speaker in the next assembly in 2027. So maybe he thought because all the political heavyweights appear to have fronted team, he also read a false signal and went many kilometers ahead of the rest of his team members in campaigning for that particular project. That's the only failure that at least I engineered someone in his place. And of course, I've also seen recently when I was in, I think, West Bukusu and Sipoti, because I think the MCAs from those areas have decided. But there are others of the people, I just do my own things. I've been in Kongit, in Montelgon several times. Elsewhere, I don't. And I think in Sihu, because The other areas, I think I don't, because I am optimistic that God has a reason, yeah, why whatever that happened happened, and I am not in a hurry, and let nobody cheat you. Do that, and anybody now can claim to say, I have the support of 80 MPs, or I have the support of 45 MCAs or 60 MCAs. That is a fallacy, because when political formations will take shape 1.5 years from today, when DAP party will provide a list of their candidates, all DAP aspirants and members of parliament and MCAs will automatically rally behind that candidate. When Ford Kenya will unveil their lineup after their party primaries, all the party honchos, rank and file, the MCAs and all the leaders, all the proponents of that party, those who are on a foreign trip to some other candidate, they will come back home and rally behind that particular person. So what I'm doing now is to position myself like I'm my own man, so that 1.5 years from today, when the political formations will be formed, party positions are taken, stands have been made, the pathway to where we are going become more clearer, the clouds are not there, rains has subsided, I think a team will automatically be formed around my candidature. And that team is the one that will provide a killer punch, a killer stretch to win this gubernatorial race for Bungoma. Today, I'm happy because on my own, I'm somewhere. We may debate about where I am, but from where I sit, the fact that we are more than 9 candidates running for this seat in our county, but everybody seems to focus on me as if I'm an incumbent. You see, the member for Sirisia, this MP who used to trade in maize long time ago, when he speaks with a lot of bitterness, as if IEBC are going to declare me the winner of gubernatorial race for Bungoma next week. He's very bitter, and he takes it very personal. He's pushing me to say my agenda, which is not his role. He's not my chief campaigner. He has made it very clear that he supports a different candidate. So it should never be within his interest on whether I say manifesto today, next week, or not at all. It should never concern him. So it's just bitter that people are happy with me, they're clapping for me wherever I go. When I call for a meeting, people are coming in their 1,000, 6,000, 7,000, even at times 10,000. That indicates that I am a front runner. Maybe they have been doing their own scientific research, and they have realized that I'm way ahead of everybody. That's why they are wasting their resources engaging in strategy meetings with a view of slowing me down or bringing me down. And the fact that I can give them sleepless nights at this time, when I am when I'm alone with the people, then it means that when party formations will take shape, coalitions are formed, and candidates are unveiled, the team that will automatically coalesce around me will give me a killer punch, and I'll be the next governor of Bungoma. God willing.
Mheshimiwa, we have this bunge la mwananchi which I noticed that we have varied mixed support for you and others. But one of the concerns that has been raised there, which I would like you to address, is number one, these meetings. I mean, like the meeting you did at Webuye, where you arrived and the MP for Sirisia was actually addressing. Then somehow he changed the topic. Mheshimiwa, did you plan to surprise them or had you given...
Number one,
yes.
I was never invited for that meeting, for that interdenominational fundraiser. Many people called me. They must support us. Mheshimiwa, are you coming to attend this function? I said no. And I just took my phone. So I went to the live page of one of the people who were streamlining the function live. And I began to watch. So when the area member of parliament took to the stage to speak, he was viciously attacking me, assassinating my character as a person. But I could read the body language of the voters, of the people. They were non-responsive to him. Either they had ignored, or many of them appeared to be my supporters, and they could express their unhappiness. Because ideally, in this country, when you make a point that resonates well with the people, they will clap and they cheer you on. You know, I saw them, they were not cheering him, they were just gloomy, like they are lost. I realized that crowd was not for them, it was for me. And ideally, what a politician does is that when you realize that your supporters are being addressed by foreigners, foreigners to mean being addressed by people whose messaging offends their ideals and whatever is dominating their minds. And I said, let me go. So, and from here to that place, I think it took me around 10 minutes because I went through Kibingei, through Tembelela, you know, that route. So when I arrived there, I found from the gate, Oluka was actually mentioning my name. And I don't, many people who know me, when I'm entering a gathering, I don't engage in showbiz. My entry has always been very simple. I only had one car. So I entered. Of course, I had sent them my public address. So I just entered another car. So he only realized that I'm entering when the doors were being opened for me for the car. And then of course, the crowd went wild. Of course, they were happy. Talk of the devil, and he arrives. So I think when I arrived there and I saw the mood of the meeting changed. Being a smart politicians, when the theme of the meeting changes, you also change accordingly. That's when he said, Zosan Barisha network.
So in brief, you're saying he was smart to do that?
Absolutely. because you know, some people think, if you look at the history of our country, the history of politics of our country is not different from the life cycle of a human being. The life cycle of a human being, whether you are a man or a woman, once you reach 55 or 60, then you can be a candidate of menopause anytime. That is a reality. In Bungoma, okay, I'm not saying it's most accurate. In Bungoma, when you do 3 terms, you also automatically become a candidate of political menopause. And I think Waluke and Dan Wanyama are potential candidates of political menopause. voter fatigue. The voters can turn against them anytime and decide to vote for whoever that will show up. So their politics is no longer attractive, you know. And a person like Waluke, who has been an MP for, now he will be seeking for a 4th term. Even from that time, he is more senior to us because he plunged into the murky waters of politics way before Sirisha was split. So he has a longer period in politics to be analyzed than most of us, you know. So it becomes awkward. People are never mesmerized by his speeches to attack me because he has been in politics for like more than 20 years. Me, I'm in politics for less than 10 years. The record that I've set cannot be compared with that of Waluke. It cannot. You know, you cannot compare the two of us. You cannot. And even his constituency is the smallest. His constituency has 3 wards. You can't compare the way Sirisha looks like and the way my contribution to this country. I was voted among the #1 member of parliament who has sponsored most bills that are life-changing. My Employment Act that led to the government of Kenya giving young graduates an opportunity to serve as interns for 2 years with a stipend of about 20,000 shillings for them to gain experience and be competitive in the job market. My Retirement Benefits Act that will require people who are retiring to be paid their pension within a period of not more than 90 days. You know, I have also repealing an Employment Act where employees cannot just be transferred from one station to the other. They must be given a 6 months notice period for you to adjust yourself, settle your children, look for another school, you know, get the point, so that you don't interrupt families. Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a proposal to make Commission of Revenue Allocation, Salaries and Remuneration Commission, Teacher Service Commission to be on part-time, and the Teacher Service Commission should also, the commissioner should be serving teachers, similar to the way Parliamentary Service Commission has commissioners who are sitting members of parliament. The way Judicial Service Commission has commissioners who are sitting judges and magistrates and practicing lawyers. Teacher Service Commission should also have commissioners who are serving teachers, so that teachers can be in charge of their own affairs. You cannot entrust the affairs of hundreds of thousands of teachers in a country into the hands of people who are not teachers. Some commissioners are just politically correct. Even a farmer was politically correct and has been appointed as a commissioner on the Teacher Service Commission, sitting in meetings where important decisions that affect the life of teachers are discussed. No, that is an injustice. That I don't want my name to be mentioned at that time. That people just stood there and watched. So I have that proposal to amend the TSC Act has progressed to make it part-time, because you can't have a full-time secretariat led by a CEO, and also a full-time commission. What for? You let the secretariat that is professional, that is technical, sit on full-time from morning, from 8 to 5, from Monday to Friday. But the commissioners should meet on need basis. And the membership of the commissioners should be sitting teachers, where you have, for example, a principal of Fresh School Kamsinga, or a principal of Namachanja High School is a commissioner on Teacher Service Commission, you know. where when the commission is not sitting, he's teaching in Machanja High School, presiding over the affairs of Machanja High School. But when the notice of issued that the commission will be sitting on next week or 3 days, he leaves the classroom.
Yes.
He goes to participate in the decision of the commission. So that when the meeting of teachers is convened in Bungoma, they are saying, these are our issues. You have somebody who not only listens, but he understands because he's part of you. But if you pick somebody who lost elections in some constituency somewhere, another one was a police officer, but because now he is jobless and looking for employment, and he knows the president or somebody, he calls somebody and his name is forwarded. So he's now a commissioner. Now they are even at times the decisions that comes out of disciplinary findings in the meetings against teachers who faces various charges in their line of execution of their duties. Some people presided over even commits more injustices than whatever the teacher is alleged to have committed. Because there are things which, from my experience in public service, you don't discipline a teacher. A teacher who has been absconding duty, who has become a drunkard, before you take an opportunity to discipline this teacher or dismiss this teacher, you have to look at his history. Previously, before, the teacher was doing very well. He was a moderate drinker. He was coming to school very early. The performance of the students in line of the subject that he was teaching was top. But all of a sudden, the teacher becomes to come to school late, or he or she doesn't come. He's always drunk. You get the point?
Yes.
That, to me, that teacher should not be disciplined. You address the reason why the teacher is coming to school late, why that teacher has become a drunkard. Maybe the wife ran away with his children and the guy is frustrated. Maybe this same teacher may have fathered some 2 or 3 children elsewhere and all his salary has been attached. So the guy has no income. So the guy is frustrated. So as an employer, you sit down and you become a counselor, because this is a resource to the country and to the commission. You don't just wake up in the morning and say, this employee now is very drunkard. You look at the history, and address the challenges that this teacher could be facing.
Mheshimiwa, I think we are doing almost now 3 hours.
Yeah.
You had jumped the gun. There was that session where I wanted to ask you about your motions in Parliament, but you have well responded to them. So I think I'll just ask you a few questions from your followers or my followers or Ikue updates. And one of them is asking, this one is called Kevom Chapakazi. That is according to Facebook page, in any WhatsApp page account yake. Why is DIDMUS supporting this government if he truly cares for Kenyans and Bungoma people in particular? A lot of development imepelekwa Luoland kwa Gladys Wanga, lakini kwetu huku isipokuwa the no, I think hapo ametumia vulgar. I'm not going to read it, but I think you have picked the question up to that point.
But you see, let me answer this gentleman. As a member of Parliament for Kimilili constituency, I have 2 responsibilities. Number 1, the responsibility in terms of hierarchy is to serve the interest of the people of Kimilili. Number 2, in that particular order, is to safeguard and serve the interest of Kenya. But number 1 is the people of Kimilili. The president is akin to an individual who prepares the national cake He looks for resources, baking powder, ungangano, some bit of salt, mayai, the ingredients that makes a cake. So he looks for resources across the world in akin to making a national cake. Then he puts the cake on the table, which is different forums. We have the National Assembly, where that cake is put. We have a struggle for this cake, for these national resources. The struggle is divided between 290 members of parliament, including 47 senators, 47 county MPs who are part of the 290, and others who represent special interest groups. So every MP unachukua kisu yako. When the cake is put on the table, you want to cut. You know? Cut roads, cut Huduma Center. I cut an increase of the teachers in my constituency. I cut the increased number of men and women who are above 60 years who are beneficiaries of cash transfer programs. You know, I go to look for direct resources from the Ministry of Education to fund schools which have not benefited from NGCDF funds. I bring them there, I put them there. I look for employment opportunities for my people, you know, not the one that people struggle to attract. Me, I look for the smaller ones, some teachers here, policemen here, military here, people, cleaners, clerical works in the ministry, in the Public Service Commission, some DOs here, research officers here and there, for my people. You get the point?
Yes.
That is why I am one of the very few members of parliament in Kenya who today, they are more popular than the way I was in 2017 when I was seeking to be elected for the first time. I have never had a challenge with my people in terms of popularity. I have remained popular throughout. You know?
Yes.
This is because I understand how struggle to share resources to your people is all about. You know? I'm not going to be like that young man who goes to to propose to a girl, and then you show up in a church where the bishop blesses your marriage and declares you husband and wife. Then when you go home, you are under performance. Instead of sleeping on the bed, you sleep under the bed, or you don't show up in the home. And when your marriage is in shambles, you begin to blame the bishop that put you together. No, you know?
Yes.
You know, no. You see, we have a challenge. The challenge that Kenyans are saying our government has is lack of developing some parts, right? I don't know where this man comes from, where he's saying many development goes to Gladys Wanga. Yes, I am not disputing. Maybe many development has gone to Gladys Wanga according to his perception and his analysis. Then this therefore means that Gladys Wanga is a better negotiator than other leaders in this country. That's why I said the framers of our constitution and our laws were alive to the fact that there is struggle for sharing of national resources. The word parliament was hived from a Latin word, parlamento, that means you pull to where you come from. So in terms of, today if you were to do a documentary across the 290 constituencies about the performance of a government, and you ask the people, there are some constituencies where the people will say, this is a very good government, we have seen this and that and that and that. Others will say we have not seen anything that the government of Kenya has done in our area. It all boils to the scenario that I have told you, that serving the people as by government is akin to a cake being put on the table, and then you have 290 MPs who are licensed to carry a knife and cut a piece in a manner that is akin to a struggle. Because in the National Assembly, when we do debate on a budget, you make noise if you know that in the budget there is little from your place. You don't care about what is happening in Cliff. They have their own members of parliament. They can argue. Correct. You get the point? And I can give you, I can go live here and tell you that in my constituency here, every year, I put 10 million on various roads every year. Whether they will have been dilapidated or not, I just put money so that they are maintained the standard. Kitai Kibingei, Temba Temba Chebukwabi, Rashid Siuna, Sango Kimalewa, Rashid Kibingei, Moi Girls Kamsinga Kamjong. You know? Yes. Matili Arsi, Bahai, Matili, Sirendu, Tesoro, Maeni, Nasusi. Nasusi, number one. Onyili, Marofu. Nakalira, Kamukuya Market, Nakalira. I even go up to Webuya East. Yeah? Kamukuya Market, Musembe. I do those roads every year. Every year I have to put 10. Moli, Cocktail. Stabicha, Old Market. I put the money on those roads every day. Chebukwabi Dam, Darajamungu. I put money. I have put, let me tell you, I have put enough money when I was elected member of parliament for KIMILILI in 2017. The connectivity of homes to the national grid, to electricity, you will not believe, was at 36% in KIMILILI. Many people do not have power. This area where we are today here was in total darkness. Yeah, I have increased connectivity of homes to the national grid from 37% to 83%. With the budget of these remaining years, I am going to push it to around 90%. Assuming that the members of parliament who came before me, yes, just did half what I've done here, KIMILILI will be a paradise. I am confidently telling my viewers that by the time I will exit as member of parliament for KIMILILI by 2027, what I could have done if if the person who take over from me manages to do half of what I have done, KIMILILI will be a paradise. And I want to tell Kenyans and everybody that there is no bad government. There is no bad government. What makes a government bad is the representative of the people if they don't push interests that concerns their people. Today, let me tell you, even in the spiritual realm, yes. So you know we have God, you have Jesus, and then you have the Holy Spirit, and we have the angels, and we have people who are saved, who are pastors and bishops and reverends and apostles, who are supposed to preach the gospel, cast demons from the people who are possessed, even pray for those who are sick and they get divine healing. You know that is what the Constitution of the heavens say, because God has commissioned men and women as men and women to preach the word of God, cast demons, destroy the plans of the devil. But we have some apostles who decides to be fornicators, who decides to be sinners, like those in Shakahola. Do you blame God? You don't blame God. So there is no government that is bad. I was telling Professor Kitui the other day, when he was lecturing the country about how William Ruto has ravaged the economy of our country, how during his time and Kibaki, the economy of this country was at its best. But I also reminded him that while I agree that the economy of our country improved by double, almost triple digits during the reign of Kibaki as president and Professor Kitui as Minister for Trade and Industry. While that one was a fact and true, still there was no single tarmac in Tongaren constituency where Kitui comes from. So it matters not how the government is doing. The role of government is to harness resources, is to collect resources in a manner akin on how you prepare the cake. It matters on the local leaders, the representatives of the people, the custodians of the interest of the community or the region. Those are the people that lets down the general citizens. Because you see, our constitution allowed lobbying and the pursuing of communities' interests. That is why the centrality of our constitution is regional balance, ethnic balance, that when you form your cabinet, the members of the cabinet should come from every part of our country. That is number one. Meaning that at that center, where the cake is baked, being cabinet, or state house, or Harambee house, if there is an attempt to share part of the cake before it's taken to the House of Representatives, then there is some bit of regional balance. There is somebody from Lembe Nation, from Kakamega. There is somebody from the Bukusu subtribe. There is somebody from every part of the country. That is the first layer that the framers of a constitution contemplated and mitigated against leaving behind some particular areas. So if there is an attempt to cut part of the cake when it is still in the kitchen being cabinet, then you are sure that the people you put there, that the people who are there, they will have something for your people. So if they succeeded in sharing part of the cake at that level, and from the region you didn't get, don't blame the president. Blame the person from your area who was part of that team when part of the cake was being shared. So the step number 2, this cake is brought in parliament. Yeah, it's brought in parliament. Budget making is a parliamentary process. You've seen even here in Bungoma where the governor Ken Lusaka has been crying that MC has removed money that he has put here to the other area, to the other area. Even they go to court, there's a standoff there. I think MCS in Bungoma should be given a medal. Maybe they are the people who seem to understand the definition of the assembly, because assembly is the equivalent of parliament. That I told you in Latin, it means pulling to where you come from.
Yes.
You get the point. So, if there are complaints that the area where you come from, the government of Kenya has not done any tangible development that you can see and point out, the person that you should send home is the person you elected. Because tomorrow, even if, let me tell you, my friend, even you know these people called brokers. Brokers are people who broker deals for their own personal interests. They don't pass whatever they get to the community. You know, they broker for benefits. Somebody can broker some opportunities in government, sell them in Northeastern, sell them to somebody else in Mombasa or anywhere else, and then people blame the government for not letting this whatever come there. You get the point? So even in heaven, those brokers existed. You know, brokers were in heaven. The reason why Jesus had to die, why God allowed Jesus to die, is because of brokers. When Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus, brokers blocked Zacchaeus. He had to climb the tree. There's a woman who was bleeding for 100 years. You know, he was attempting to reach Jesus, but brokers were all over. They would not allow her to meet Jesus.
Yes.
Until the Bible says that this lady struggled to stretch her hand and touched the cloth of Jesus, and then she was healed. Yani alingangana tu akashika tu basi ya Yesu, akufika Yesu mwenyewe, meaning there was somebody who was pushing her away, but she just tried and just touched, then she was healed. Then we have another people also that had Jesus was somewhere and they brought their person who was sick. The brokers had blocked the door. They could not even allow. They had to go through the roof. So at the point when Jesus was crucified, the Bible says, pasia ilikatika, chini kapanda juu, watu wakaona Mungu. That herald a new beginning. And today, if you want to pray to God, you pray to Him directly. During that time when Jesus was alive, was walking around here, there was no communication between the people and God. You have to physically look for Jesus where He is, but the brokers could not allow. So God also got tired and said, because of these brokers, now let my son die, let the body of my son die, so that now there is a direct link between the people and Him, directly. Today, if you are sick, unapika tu magoti, unaomba, there are no brokers. Mungu anakusikia. During the time of Jesus, the brokers were so many. You see, even the Bible says that while Jesus had the powers to heal people, but people could just suspect that Jesus is somewhere, and when he's going home, he could use this route. So the Bible says people who are sick were being laid on the streets, so that the shadow of Jesus, if it just passes through them, they get healed. There were brokers everywhere. So that's why I've said that the brokers who brought the tourists from Nairobi are just but brokers. If the tourist succeeds to be governor of Bungoma, I want to tell you, those brokers will milk him dry. I tell you because I have serious information. These brokers, they are collecting too much money from this man from Nairobi. This man from Nairobi seems to have too much money that he never labored or sweat to bring. You know, he's the president of the Paralegal in Africa. He has an NGO, which he solicits, just writes proposals to the foreign countries, and money comes to assist the PWDs in our country. And when money comes in, I think he's pocketing part of his money. The hotels which we are being told he runs them in Bungoma, they are not hotels for making profit. They are just hotels for man to clean his money. Basically, he just runs some money laundering rackets, where money that is meant to assist the PWDs in a country that have been sent by donors, that money is withdrawn, and when the money is withdrawn, gotten into some hotels there, the receipts are prepared, books of records are being cleaned up.
I'm sure that remains an allegation, right?
No, but I'm telling you, I have a privilege of accessing some information which you may not. That is what happens. I mean, that's true. And I want to give you an example. Do you remember the story of this guy who had a spine problem called Zach Monkey?
Oh, bring back Zach or
Yes,
something like
Zach
that.
Mangi. Zach Mangi was scouted. Of course, some people sat down and said, "How do we make money?" Using some dire situations. You know, every dire situations. While some people will grieve, others will see that this is an opportunity for them to make money from us expecting Kenyans. And some people sat down and decided to scout and brought Zach on board. And they put him on a wheelchair. And the guy said that he has moved around this country and there is no hospital that can actually sort out his problem. So the guy says, I'm on a journey to South Africa. You know, the pictures were taken, a pay bill was posted, the Kenyans contributed money from the records. It shows that the money that were raised was in excess of 70 million. And that money was to put up a spinal injury hospital somewhere in Kajiado, you know. But that money was withdrawn and embezzled. You know, you can go and find out where that money went to and who was the architect behind that brings back home. You go and find out.
Yeah, maybe we'll do our research and see whether we can find them.
Yeah.
We
So those who are running around saying that we have brought an angel from where? There is no angel. There is no angel in the world.
Which we have had, we have talked for so long. Let me just read a few comments here. There's someone called Karen who says, evening to you all. Ambia Muheshi hiyo Huduma Center imeisha. It's looking good. Ana wazo gani about watu hatuna kazi? Huyu ameanza kujitetea hapo. But I believe that is giving you credit for putting up the Huduma Center. There was someone else here who says mama who. Oh, nimetumiwa hapa picha ya mama Eunice from Namusimbi village, Chwele Kapchai. Huyu inaonekana this one it is a concern. Maybe you'll have to look at after the show because it's taking time to download. And then what is your relationship with the president?
I am his loyal soldier. I am his hero. That's why you've seen I've been nominated for the award of CPS, which is one of the lucrative honors that the president of a country can bestow to a person who has made tangible, meaningful, verifiable, life-changing initiatives in our country.
Someone was in court today, I think. There was supposed to be a ruling. We were supposed to cover it, but we didn't make it. So we don't know how the case went because I think they had issues with a few of those nominees.
They are wasting time. You know, let me tell you.
Yes.
We changed our laws. We set up committees that will identify the heroes in various categories and forward their names to the president for their official award. In the parliament, we have honors advisory committee of National Assembly that identifies those people. And I think even in the civil servants also, they also have a team that identifies. They have a criteria. You know, I may have a problem with John Waluke.
Yes.
As a person. But John Waluke, as much as you may want to discredit him, he has served the people of Syria for 15 years as the member of parliament. There are very many things that John Waluke has done to the people of Syria. You want to tell me that he's not a hero? You may be a professor somewhere in Syria, where you think Waluke is just a bunch of uneducated characters. But the guy there are very many personal initiatives that he has done, that he has made the people of Syria elect him for 15 years. Don't forget about the NCPP case that he had where he was jailed for 7 years, but the court, the court of appeal acquitted him, and that whatever those charges he was facing in court, they were not challenging his contribution to the community as a member of parliament. Somebody said that Sijui Kamgate, has been accused of being the person who sponsored what is it called, cattle rustling, or Sijui Fred Kapondi. My friend, Kapondi has been MP for Mount Elgon for 15 years, 15 or 20. You know, he has offered community service that nobody else could have not offered. So whatever his misgivings are has got nothing to do with the meeting the criteria and the qualifications of the bid. You know, I ran a program of eliminating grass-thatched houses in my constituency. The same story was highlighted by BBC, you know, as being one of a life change. They came here and even they interviewed me. They gave me a present. Got the point?
Yes.
I am a hero. You know, and I think everybody is a hero in their own right.
But then, Mheshimiwa, talk of you doing houses. This case is about a house.
Darren will give me, I will sort it out.
Yeah, the photos.
Yeah, I think I'll sort out that case. I think I have those pictures. I've just delayed because of the payment programs I've been doing.
Okay.
You know, that I even send, we are doing costing.
Yes.
I send Sami Mangara. This place is somewhere in Chwele Kapchai.
Yes, correct.
Hapo karibu kwa majimbo somewhere there. So I'm aware of
Namusimbi village.
Yeah, that around that area, because I send I'm doing costings and assembly of materials. So I'll be able to sort this thing out. I'll send the people tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow it will be done.
So, Mheshimiwa, thank you very much for that. That being one of the other CSRs that you have done through Ikwe. I remember, for those of you who are just watching, Mheshimiwa paid a bill, a hospital bill ya jamaa fulani anakuwa pale Kandui. Kwa na mashavi imefura kabisa. To a tune of about 800,000.
Yeah, so with those kind of things, I am a hero. At least there are many people. There are many people that today, if they get an opportunity to pray for someone, they pray for me. And then somebody is having an issue with my nomination for award of the honors of Chief of the Burning Spear, CBS. I mean, Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear. Chief of, I've done very well. My contribution is more than that very man was given EBS by President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Mheshimiwa, say something about Nzoia Sugar Company. You are one of the people who are advocating for the privatization,
you know, Nzoia Sugar Company is okay. For you to be competent about commenting matters Nzoia Sugar, you should read the agreement which they signed with the government. Once they have taken over the factory, one of the conditions which the representatives of the workers signed was that those employees were to work for a particular period uninterrupted. Then when that period lapses, they were to be sent home. Then the factory can do a fresh recruitment depending on the skills they want. You know, the skills they want. And the factory, I think also they had a timeline on the time taken to overhaul the machines. You know, bring in some new parts, repair some, those that are obsolete, be replaced completely. So once that one is done, and also develop cane at the same time, work with the farmers to develop cane at the same time. So what they are currently doing now is that they are remodeling the factory. When the factory is fully remodeled, and the cane is developed, they will now engage in fresh hiring of staffs. Now, when the hiring of fresh staffs, we will ensure that the forest where they will recruit the staff, they must be in Bungoma until when we are convinced that this type of skill they are looking for is not available locally, that's when they can now go and source from elsewhere. Okay. But the first place where they will source from is from the existing employees. You know, when someone leases a farm, a factory, also give it to him. You cannot gang him and say you have to operate in this particular manner. You know, when Wangamati leased tourist hotel, see, he sacked the staffs that were working there and they re-interviewed them, retrained them, so that you bring the staffs who meet the standards of the hotel that you have set for the purposes of making profit. Zoya factory cannot run without workers. So the workers who have been laid off, they have been laid off because how are they going to be paid? You know, how are they going to be paid? If the factory is not crushing cane, how are they going to be paid? This is a businessman.
What about the amount that was recently said to have been released for paying farmers?
You know, there are two things which we must separate.
Yeah.
The cane farmers were to be paid by the government of Kenya, not RAI. Because the cane that were never paid for were never supplied during the time of RAI. They were supplied when the factory was government. So the government is supposed to pay the debts for the farmers. That is something which all of us as leaders, we are ready to pick it up if there are arrears for farmers that have not been paid. That one can be our failure, and we must own it up, and we must rise up to the occasion and correct.
Recently,
but the employees had salary arrears, which we managed to sneak in the lease agreement. They were to be paid within a specific period of time, certain amount of money within a particular period of time, so that by a particular period of time, I'm not very clear about the timing because I have to look at the contract itself. Everybody ought to have been paid, and their termination was to be in accordance with the Employment Act of the Republic of Kenya, where they pay the severance pay. This is how they calculate it and pay them. Okay. Because really you can't blame RAI for sending all staffs on compulsory leave. He's doing so because he is not crashing. Then maybe he has released everybody so that I am sure 100% that he also requires his staff to run the factory. So currently he is focused on remodeling the factory, bringing in new equipments, new parts, repairing some that are within the modern technologies. And I think this is something that I undertake to give a comprehensive report within the next 2 weeks. I have to go and find out the status of the repair, how far, how much time is remaining for them to be viewed to have completed to remodel the factory. When are they estimated to begin crashing? And what is their plan in terms of hiring of new staffs? Because that factory must be run by staffs. Yeah? Okay. So, and then I think I will give a comprehensive report to the people of Bungoma, maybe in about 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 or so questions. Number one, would you be willing to work with Wangamati in terms of agreeing on one going for senatorial and the other going for governor?
There is no there is no legal provisions that a governor and a senator works together during campaigns. But like I said before, if it happens that political formations and shapings puts us in the same place, why not?
So you would not have a problem being a senator and leaving Wangamati or any other person to take
I don't have a problem with him because the ultimate decision on who becomes governor, who becomes senator, will be the people of Bungoma. The people of Bungoma will decide. But in terms of moving with him in a team where the same team that supports me for governor of Bungoma is the same team that is supporting him for senator of Bungoma, and that we are campaigning for each other, I think I will not only support him the way he will support me by rallying our individual supporters to support each other, but even in terms of finances. If I will run short of finances, I will ask him to lend me some money. If he will run short of money, I will support him because we'll be members of one team. But I also want to have a senator who's a bit strong and objective, because when you are a governor, you require two things: a strong assembly and a strong senator. When you have the two, you will stretch your hand beyond the normal, and that one will make the people of Bungoma reap maximum benefits. And by so doing, your development record will remain written in golden letters on the hearts of the people of Bungoma.
And Mheshimiwa, that one can be best achieved if the senator and the governor are not from the same coalition, because we have seen what's going on now. The current senator is not as
No. It's a matter of
not oversighting the governors.
No.
Yeah,
it's a matter of personal attributes. From where I sit, I can give you an example. Senator Mandago and Chelilim are from the same UDA party. Senator Samson Chirargei and Governor Stephen Sang are from the same coalition in Nandi County. You see the way they run their things. Yeah. See, they run their things in very well. So it's not about anything else. Senator Kimani Wamatangi and Karungu are from the same party. You see the way the level of oversight is being done. You get the point. It's not about. Whether it's the same party or whatever. A person who is prone to be compromised can just be compromised regardless of whether he's in the same coalition or the other one. Yeah.
Mheshimiwa, what is your beef with Mheshimiwa Eugene Wamalwa? You seem always, whenever you are talking, you're hitting him negatively. When he's saying something, do you guys have something personal?
Not really. As we speak today, my generation is struggling to rewrite history where leaders are appreciated. Because we are coming from a history where the people don't respect leaders. The people don't see the value of leaders. This is because those who have been given an opportunity to serve at the higher office before have failed to use their position of influence to improve mankind. And some of such people are Eugene Wamalwa. If the people from our region will sit down and write the names of leaders who have been given an opportunity to serve in the rare positions of ministers and above, plus their contributions to society, there are not very many. There are some where their contribution to society is zero. And my line of argument has been completely different with that of Eugene Wamalwa. Because Eugene Wamalwa has always said that we are not talking about his contribution that is extended to individual people. We are talking about the contribution to the community. Like today, anybody passing around Bungoma, they will say that they knew that the current existing county assembly was built by Pascal Nabwana. You look about the contributions of like Elijah Mangale, they will say Elijah Mangale brought Chisamis High School. He was also instrumental in the setting up of French School Kamsinga. You talk about those who brought pen paper, those who brought Zoya Sugar. There are names associated with those projects that have remained at the center of the hearts of the people, and that are a bit sentimental in the hearts of the people of Bungoma. So when it comes to Eugene Omara, what do you remember? If you are woken up at night to list down
Koika Water Project Phase 1. I don't know whether it was, I think it was during his time.
No, I want to ask you a very simple question, right?
Yes.
Water is like electricity. It's either there you can see it or it's not there, right?
Yes.
Do you have water in Kibaki, around that area? Well, do you have running water?
No, I'm told the contractor messed up somewhere.
Forget about messing up that somewhere. That's why I'm telling you, water is like electricity, or is like a pregnant woman. When you are told that this lady is heavily pregnant, you don't even have to be told. You just say this lady is pregnant. When somebody is saying there is electricity somewhere, there is no debate about whether it's there or not. It is seen lighting at night. Like in my house here, I've told you there is power because you've seen it lighting there. So let me tell you, my friends, if you look at the amount of money that was pumped in Koika 1, Koika 2, you are talking of billions, you 400s, you how much? There is no water in Chwele. Have you seen it? Anybody from Chwele? Is there water? I see there is a kiosk at Musese. I pass there at times, you see some long line. Many times it's dry, not there. So we should not, we should not, let me give you an example. When we play for Paranya was governor of Kakamega and the chairman council of governors, he brought World Bank. They drove the road from Malemba past Kakamega town, right? During, give credit to where it's due. The county government of Bungoma had an opportunity to struggle for very many years to raise funds to put up a level 6 facility. Yeah, but somehow some people somewhere struggled and saw an opportunity that AFDB had proposed to do level 6 hospitals in Kenya, a number of them in different parts of the country. You see, at least a decision was made that this level 6 hospital should be put up in Bungoma. You know, so when that dream, forget about the argument of whether it should be put in J or Bungoma town. That is neither here nor there. That hospital, wherever it would have been, it will serve all the people of Bungoma. I don't care, you know. So somebody, when the history of that hospital will be written, the names of those who struggled to have it here will be mentioned. So I want to ask you the second question. Tell me 3 things that Eugene did to the people of Western Kenya when he was Minister for Water, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and when he was Minister for Devolution. 3 things. Where the children who are born today will be told. Tell me.
Is that why the two of you have these kind of irreparable differences, or rather?
Me, I'm just objective because you see, he tells people that when I was first elected and went to Nairobi, that I didn't have nowhere to live. He gave me a house to live in. My friend, before I was elected, I have given you my CV. Before I was elected, I was regional director for Borore Africa Logistics. And when you are a member of parliament, the day you are sworn in, they will give you a car grant of 5 million. you go and buy a car of your own choice. Yeah? They give you a mortgage, a salary of more than 1 million shillings. Can a member of parliament be homeless in Nairobi? You see, is it true? Can a member of parliament be homeless?
Sounds far-fetched.
Today we will have a by-election in Malaba. We will elect a new member of parliament. Whether it's Panyako or David Ndakwa will be elected. Can you tell me that people will go to Nairobi and they are homeless? They have to be housed in Nairobi somewhere. Someone who has run a campaign and won. Is it possible that I didn't even have a car? You know, I was campaigning, I had cars, right? So how can it be that he says that he bought me a car? That is far-fetched, right?
Mheshimiwa.
If you look at Eugene himself,
Yes.
does he look like he can buy someone a car? If you know, if the reports that are available is something to go by, the generosity of Eugene Wamalwa, even to his brother's children, Mike Kijana Wamalwa, is a going concern. They dropped out of school. Some died because of lack of food. And you are aware of this. So if the man claims to be magnanimous, if the guy claims to be philanthropic, he bought me a car as an elected member of parliament, that I didn't have a house to live in, that he gave me a house to live in. Elected member of parliament of the National Assembly with a salary of 1 million plus. If William Ruto supported me to run my campaigns, yeah, and then he was also still the deputy president. If I don't have a place to sleep, I mean, I can even go and obtain him some 1 or 2 million shillings that I want to do something and go and rent a house. Surely. See, do you believe that Eugene? There are some lies. You don't have to be told they are lies. They are just lies from face value. So when I've been saying that, do you know? And if I'm wrong, tell me. Our former Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Barasa lost her job when Eugene was Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. True or false?
True.
When Moses Wetangula was Minister for Foreign Affairs, there are notable people he engineered their appointment as ambassadors. Nabukwesi, Namachanja. You can, at least you can mention them, right? Mention the people that Eugene Wamalwa appointed when he was Minister for Justice, when he was Minister for Devolution, when he was Minister for Defense. Don't tell him he gave Kasembele Watila, he took Kasembele Watila's son to KDF. Don't mention those things. I am talking about positions which are beneficial to the community. Tell me.
I personally don't know any.
Yeah, if you don't know and you are more informed than many people from Bungoma, you are educated, you are a blogger, you run a podcast, you are an avid researcher, you are on very many platforms, you are always inquisitive about what is happening in our country. You can access the Gazette notices that government issues when they are appointing people. And if you don't know, do you expect a Mamamboga from Chile to know that Eugene Wamalwa appointed? If at your level you don't know.
No.
It simply says that this man did nothing. And he is part of the reason why many people from our region do not respect us. That when you appear before a crowd of people and you are telling them that I will put in efforts to uplift our community from where it stands now to this level, we will bring some financial bargaining power within our people, we will advance the interests of our community. They look at you and so we are trying to change.
Mheshimiwa, let's talk about there's this, in fact, there's this question here. There's someone who asked me about the governor's son. Is it true that you are planning to support him so that as a condition from Governor Saka to support you?
Who say that?
No, it's just a question that one of the many questions that I'm...
Number one, I'm not the one who decides on who become the MP for KIMILILI after I've left. Number two, I will also vote for someone because I voted in KIMILILI. And I cannot say that because I'm running for governor and I want all the aspirants running to vote for me, therefore I am going to abstain from voting for either of them. I will vote for whoever I'll be persuaded that he can not disappoint and that he can take over from me, either maintain what I've done or even do much better than what I've done. Right?
Yes.
And all the people of KIMILILI are at liberty to run for whatever seat, you know. And that one of the things which will determine whom to support when that time comes will be as a result of the nature of myself being a human being with blood in my veins. I don't use petrol, I don't use whatever. There is that connectivity, you know, where, you know, I am coming out of a serious political bruising, some kind of a political storm, where you have some imaginary waves that were created from some tourists, where you have now to say you have to face them head on. And at that time also you require some volunteers to support you, to stand with you at these very difficult political moments. We have some who may have also dined with my opponents and aided my opponents' efforts to politically suppress me and send me to political oblivion. Being a human being with the blood in my veins, do not expect that I will also align my political thinking and philosophy with them. I will realign my political thinking and philosophy to an individual that I feel flows in the same direction with myself in political spirituality.
Yeah, Mheshimiwa, I think now the last question would be, do you think as Luhya community in the Kenya Kwanza Pact, we have achieved the 30% that was initially bargained for?
To me, if you ask me, I will say yes. I will say yes. And with a caption as to whether those 30% from where, or were they beneficial to the community or not. Me, I'm a very honest person. I think as a community, we, especially as the people of Bungoma, we goofed. We goofed because much of the people that were appointed from Bungoma, they don't live in Bungoma. They live elsewhere. Up to today, I don't know where Deborah lives. I don't know where our home is. I don't know. Do you know? Maybe you've gone there too. I don't know.
I used to hear she comes from...
I don't know. I don't know. So, so as much as there are a number of people who are appointed from part of our 30% from Bungoma, they don't live in Bungoma. You know, it has made us miss out from the excitement that comes from when your neighbor has been appointed to a position of influence in the country. Not just Horawami.
Yes.
You know, anybody who gets an employment opportunity. For example, today, if I am a CEO of a company in South Africa, and I have an opportunity to engineer appointment of 10 people in various roles in that company. The first thing that I will think about is Bungoma, where I come from. You know, So if my neighbor here is a CEO of Kenya Power Lighting Company, ideally everywhere where there is a senior person, beginning in the police, in the military, you will always realize that there are a number of children that he picks from some radius around him to go and been given those opportunities. You know, I am sure if you go to do your research properly, maybe you go and find out where Mukwana comes from, around Urende or Kandui. I'm sure you will not be surprised if you get maybe there's some driver driving some vehicle in the Ministry of Trade, the Kenya Bureau of Standards, in Kipi, somewhere, and you sit down with them and because so those are opportunities which I've said we have missed. You know, because a minister is a very senior person. You know, and that's why I've told you that the 30% we may have gotten, but where whatever the Waterloo is that the beneficiaries of the 30% may not be benefiting the people of Bungoma because 75% of them don't come from here. And in that being the case, you really don't have to blame the president. You blame us. Because the head of state cannot stoop too low to begin asking. Once he's told this one is from Bungoma, he's from Bungoma. He's an apology. You know? And
we blame the third in command.
And the 30% was not tied to a community. It was tied to a party. And there is an argument that it was tied to Fort Kenya and the ANC. And there's an argument where people will tell you that Fort Kenya has national presence, has supporters in Mandera, has supporters in Hola, has supporters in Mombasa.
ANC died.
Yeah, it died, but it died after implementing the 30% was to be implemented within a year after forming government. So 2 years ago, ANC was existing.
So Wetangula should demand that those positions that were given to ANC should now be.
Maybe they're already serving, so you cannot dismantle them. They are just. I don't know, but I think I've tried to answer your question.
You have. So Mheshimiwa, we have talked and talked. I know there's much more that we would have talked about. We'll get some time maybe later or in future tuendelee kuongea. Leo tumeongea zaidi, tumeongea kwa Kizungu, and I'm sure some of my followers must be wondering mbona leo tumeenda hiyo line ya Kizungu sana. Pia sisi tunajaribu kushape up kidogo. We want
unajua vile nimesema nataka kuwa governor ya Bungoma. Na marafiki zangu wengi sasa wanaambia sasa Mheshimiwa DIDMUS, unajua sasa unataka kuwa governor, lazima uanze kukaa kama governor, unafunga tai na suti, unaongea mpaka hata Kizungu. Kwa sababu wakati mwingine tukifanya siasa unataka kuconvey message kwa audience wako, kwa supporters yako, you have to use a particular language ndio watu wasikie vizuri. Unapata kama ule mjumbe ya Sirisha anasema anaongea maneno ya kitoto na naongea figuratively kwamba wamama wanafunga kwa mgongo na leso. Yeye anaona anasema kwani hao ni bibi yako, nini ni bibi yangu anifunga kwa mgongo na leso. Anaelewa katika hali hiyo.
So many people came on board and I think it's important that I tell you that. So kwa wengine ambao wamekuwa natufuatilia, tumechukua muda mrefu
because jamaa wangu hiyo mpatie hii 1500.
That is 5,000. Hii ni ya Cyprian. And I'm saying it so that mjue ni ya Cyprian. So thank you Mheshimiwa. So for everyone who has joined us, asanteni sana. Let us hope that we will you enjoyed the show. We will have another live stream tomorrow morning. Tutakuwa na PS kule Chebukaka. Tukitoka huko in the evening tutakuwa tuna host PS kwake nyumbani. That will be at around 6. So asanteni sana. Mweshi.
Karibu sana.
Na huko smart sana.
Welcome to our humble abode.
Yes.
Kwa hapa. Bibi yako Nimetengenezea
Baadaye
dinner.
kuna mtu mwisho alisema ati huyu bibi yako yeye aamini sana kama ni bibi. Tuweke mimba kwanza alafu ndo tutaamini.
But to have that was who said that? We have our firstborn girl is in Form 4.
You mean?
Yes, Form 4. We are old. We look old. Only that we take care of us. We look younger, but we are old. Firstborn girl is in Form 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one was for Mori. Mori ndiye amesema twice. Anauliza.
Those are propagandists. You know, I am an old man. I am an old man with I've already said I have children. So,
yes. Yeah.
I'm an old man. So
Sadi, I think we can call it a day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
for doing a good work.